Happy Flickin' Friday, friends. Welcome to the Swiftwing Speakeasy. Here, the only thing you can predict is a good time. We are your source for news, reviews, and daily discourse most of the time. However, on Fridays, it's more often disorder than discourse. So please join the conversation as we discuss life, liberty, and the pursuit of fandom. As always, if you want to support this channel as the world falls apart, please leave your questions and comments on our Streamlab link that we have provided in the description of this video. And guys, we have some crazy guests, some really cool people. So without much further ado, let's get into doing introductions. And first but not least, we have the Holy Trinity, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Allison on the show today. Allison, it feels really weird. Like I had a sad realization when I went to the living room and I was like, "Hey, babe, Allison's going to be on the show." And then I was like, I just realized I haven't done a show with Allison in forever.
It's been a hot minute.
I feel like everyone's
I stay asleep because I'm on the East Coast.
Well, right, but you got
the West Coast.
You're constantly doing the, reels like the first time, which, by the way, plug your latest.
Yeah, so just recently released, I sat down and chatted with Hal Rudnick. We talked about Double Indemnity. The week prior to that, his co-host for Binge Boys, Lon Harris, for Money Plane. So there is no rhyme or reason to any of these episodes. They're just fun. You find them all here on the channel. Reels like the first time. Formerly, you've never seen it. So you can check out all those videos. Check out all the audio is up on whatever audio platform of choice you listen to.
Love it very much.
Some of our guests that are here have been on an episode. They were on a great episode.
Took my line and transition. Damn it, Allison. What I was going to say is, speaking of Allison's many wonderful, fantastic guests, we have a couple of them on the show tonight, and you probably know them as Late to the Party, but you might know them as Robert and Vanessa. Say hello to LTTP. What's up, guys? Welcome to the actual party. You guys are late to this party, but that's okay.
We were early. Anytime. We were early to the back to school party, which was a hell of a time.
Yeah, that was a good one. Good time. I'm gonna play some Oingo Boingo later.
I haven't stopped since that episode.
I love how I have Allison do all the footwork for us. Like, we just continue doing our thing, and then she starts getting these big, huge guests, like from the Schmodown, outside the Schmodown.
How Rudnick! Congratulations on How Rudnick. That's awesome.
Look, I
was like, Justice Bot's coming on the show.
When I had messaged him and asked him to be on the show, he a while ago followed me on Instagram because his DMs are technically closed. So he followed me a while ago on Twitter, and I never wanted to invite him on the show because I didn't want him to realize he made a mistake. I kept it on the DL for a while. Then I was like, I'm gonna shoot my shot. Absolute gem. It was a great time, great episode. So yeah, definitely check it out if you guys get a chance.
I want to thank Lego for finally somebody complimenting my cheesy writing and intro dialogue. Thank you so much. And when I say writing, I do mean I have that fully memorized. But Robert and Vanessa are not our only guests on the show tonight. We also have a first-class league fame, the Flying Cow Clay, on the show tonight. How's it going? I just want
move. That was prerequisite, right?
Well, it does cut off Vanessa and Robert, so we're not gonna. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that too close? But I feel like for 5 people,
I don't know. Can they sit that way the entire time?
I don't know. It just. I just feel like this is really small, but that's okay. Maybe it's because I have a really tiny monitor.
You itty little baby.
Just before anyone says anything, say your name so people know who's talking. I'm just.
Jesse can't fit us all.
I never know half the time.
Yeah. How is everybody doing tonight? What are we drinking?
So I got to be on Clay's podcast a while back, and we got to talk about the greatest trilogy of all time, more specifically one of the entries, and that is the Mighty Ducks.
Evil Dead.
Oh. Yes.
It was a good time in your podcast.
Yeah, we talked about D2, the Mighty Ducks, and Sean sat there while I eviscerated the movie in front of him. So,
and I was like, I love this movie. And he's like, it was garbage.
Yeah, what? It's not good. I'm sorry.
I feel like literally, D2 would be a terrible Dungeons and Dragon dice. Roll your D2.
Lego hit the nail on the head, by the way, when I realized that Hal was following me. This is literally the conversation. I think I actually sent you guys a message saying, hey, this just happened. I think he didn't mean to, so I'm just not going to say anything.
You know what else Lego says? Quack, 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 quack. Lego knows.
We love Lego.
No, William. I mean, it's a good trilogy. They only
We got
right?
William Harold in the chat. Jake is here. Got Lego reviews by Z8. There's been some fun friends in here.
I want to comment on the poll before this isn't the case anymore. We put a poll in our live chat, so if you're watching on the computer or wherever you can vote, I don't think you can do it on your phones, but I just put best movie of March. Some of this might not apply if you haven't seen certain movies early, like a couple people on the show have, but I said Creed 3, Dungeons and Dragons, Shazam 2, and John Wick 4. Out of what you've seen, please let us know what your favorite film of March is. Right now, it's a 4-way tie. There's 4 votes.
Cocaine Bear.
I've seen Scream.
That's true. Scream is
out of that list. I have seen Scream.
You guys just watched Cocaine Bear, didn't you guys?
We did, yeah, on the channel, so you could see our horror throughout this. My favorite sequence of the entire movie, the ambulance sequence. Yes. Check out our reaction to that. But yeah, it was a good one.
It was so ridiculous, and it had some jumps, like when I'll just say deaths happen, like especially dealing with the people in the ambulance. But I wasn't ready for that too when that happened in the cabin or in the ranger station, I guess.
That's part of the whole movie, that sequence.
Absolutely. It was absolutely ridiculous. And it was exactly as advertised. I went and saw it in theaters, though. I didn't wait for it to come home. I was like, you know what I'm doing on a Monday? Kids are at school. Cocaine Bear. That's what
I love that for you. Guys, I really want to show off, because William Harold mentioned Indiana Jones. I really want to show off the beer that I'm drinking tonight. We have a great brewery here in Orlando, Florida called Tactical Brewing. Ooh. And they make delicious sours. And this is a Shirley Temple sour that goes by the name Shirley Temple of Doom. And just look at this sick-ass can art that they do.
I love that.
Wow.
Is that not phenomenal?
It's so ugly. I love it.
I love this brewery. My favorite brewery we have here in Orlando. It's one of my absolute favorites. If y'all ever end up down here, we're going because it's phenomenal.
So important intermission really quick. I just realized that we have some people that haven't been on the main show before, and so they might not know about this.
Can I show you guys something really fun that Frank owns? That's like one of my favorite things that we have. That's Jurassic Park related. Hold on, it's right here. It's right here. It's right here. He's gonna kill me for touching his stuff, but it's fine. Knocked his toys over. It's okay. Oh my god!
I love watching the reactions.
Girl, what you doing?
It was an accident. This was now over a year old. What they also don't know about this story is that I didn't tell my husband I knocked his toys over because I put them all back up and nothing was broken. But then a lovely friend of the show, Bador, was able to cut it out and the video. And at the time, I was doing a very good job of running the Flick and Reel Instagram page, who my lovely husband does such a great job of supporting. So when we were at lunch when we were at lunch the next day, he's scrolling through. And as we're waiting for our food to come, he was like, "What'd you break?" What are you talking about? And he shows the video and I go, nothing. That's why I didn't tell you. He goes, or you could just not touch my stuff anymore. I'm like, that's also a great idea.
If he couldn't tell, then you did a damn good job.
Exactly. I'm like, he didn't know where anything was. It's fine.
Sound like 10 picture frames falling off an aisle.
It's a lot of. There's a lot of.
It sounded like it was built in a pyramid somehow for some reason.
To be fair, a lot of his stuff has already fallen over again, and it wasn't me this time. So
we do need to. I got to bring it back up. We did get a super chat from Reviews by ZH. Don't want to leave that neglected.
Thank you, Scout. Appreciate it.
$10 super chat. Thank you so much. Awesome, guys. And we all know it's just because late to the party's here, but I'm going to pretend like that's not why. It says, what shows have y'all been enjoying? Wolfpack, The Way Home, Daisy Jones, and The Six. I will say my wife is loving Daisy Jones and The Six.
I loved the book. I need to watch the show. I haven't watched it yet.
1923, Superman and Lois. I need to get back into that. I've only watched about 2 episodes. And Gotham Knights have been my favorite The Last of Us shows. I had to clarify
I don't know if anything is going to live up to The Last of Us until season 2 comes out. If I'm being quite honest.
So I'm gonna be really real. I made the bold claim that I think Ted Lasso might be my favorite show of all time.
You did.
I love Ted Lasso. We're
not
right
that
there
bold.
with you. Ted Lasso is probably one of our absolute favorite comedies, like right now, where I feel like it could topple The Office, because The Office is like my favorite comedy sitcom show, but like Ted Lasso is getting there.
I don't understand how Ted Lasso like naturally makes me cry as much as it does, and it's not for anything sad. Like,
It's a warm hug every week when it's
Every
on.
week.
And it's beautiful. And when you rewatch it too. I love Ted. It's so good.
It's so good. I love Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is wonderful. I'm loving The Mandalorian. I'm loving Love is Blind is back on Netflix. I just finished episode 1 of season 4. If you want some great trash TV and watch garbage people, right there.
Lauren made me watch a clip of whoever singing to, is it Irina?
I haven't gotten to that part yet, but she warned me about it.
It's rough.
It's a rough show. It's not great.
I've seen in the chat Tim Franco saying my favorite movie of March was Roller Boogie.
Dude, Roller Boogie. Guys, okay.
Can we get a quick brief synopsis of that?
Okay, so basically, I'll break it down for you. Ride Owl High, instead of like doing the dance, they're roller skaters, but synchronized dance roller skaters. Okay. And let's say you throw in like the mafia and the mob, and they're trying to stop the mob from like taking down this dude that owns this roller rink. So the whole roller community comes together badassedly to take down the mafia. And the lead is Linda Blair.
I was about to say Linda Blair.
Yeah, and it's
Exorcist herself.
Incredible. Some of those skating sequences, man. Like, I want to find those people now in life and be like, dude, what do you do for a living? What is your life now? Because that life, whoo, that was special.
That's awesome.
Check out the movie. I don't know where or how.
I was about to say, did you guys watch that at home? Was that a home watch, or did you see a retro theater?
That was Mondo Monday, every Monday at the Loft. I believe William Harold, say hi. I think you're there. Someone says you're there, but I don't know where you are.
There he is. Yeah, PJ posts about that all the time. I see him. He's always posting the marquee and whatnot.
And everyone gets to shout at the movie and yell at the movie. And they're terrible movies for the most part.
Trying to make people laugh.
Yeah, it's all about trying to make everyone around you laugh. I go to make Tim laugh. He goes to make me laugh. Every once in a while, we'll get the audience.
Amazing.
That's
Jake Yakavetta, I don't understand what your issue is with my rock poster. I don't get it. But apparently he's in the chat saying I need to get rid of it. So
no, it's amazing. I love The Rock. The score is incredible.
Yeah.
So good. One of Michael Bay's best movies.
I heard Zachary Levi hates that movie.
I hate Zachary Levi.
There we go.
That confirms a lot.
There was a half a second delay. I heard what you said, but I had to compute it. I was like, what?
It's crazy how when I can say something like that on autopilot and it's true. I was like, what did you just say you hated? Oh, yeah, that checks out.
He's just digging all the holes right now. He seems fun.
Let him have his implosion.
You know what? He could have waited. It's like it's one of those things where, like, I don't understand why people don't just wait. Like, let your movie come out where America still loves you, and like you've seen the shit show that's been going on at DC. Just don't do it then. Like, wait a week after your movie comes out, get the money, and then show the world how much of a douchebag you are.
Well, the thing is, like,
oh no, he did it 2 months ago when he started tweeting anti-vax stuff.
Exactly.
He's like, I know what'll sell this.
I know what'll.
Yeah,
I know what'll get.
That'll really get people behind me.
Let's divide the audience right now. Regardless of which side you're on, let's divide the audience in half.
Yeah.
It's already a shaky market, so you don't really give people the incentive to want to come and watch your movie. Also, the future of your saga is coming to an end, so
I think because they know they're doing like a soft reboot to DC, that they're like, wait, what's the point of doing a Shazam 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's already in the can.
Yeah.
It's why we didn't run out to see it.
Yeah,
I haven't. Yeah. I have literally the only two movies I want to say so far that I've seen in theaters this month has been Scream and Champions. Which, by the way, if y'all haven't seen Champions, you need to get on it. It is so heartfelt. I mean, granted, I'm a little biased. I have a brother with Down syndrome. Like and I'm also obsessed with Caitlin Olsen. So that helps, but it's actually so well done. It's such a good story. All the actors in it are phenomenal. So if you haven't seen Champions yet, I highly recommend it.
I thought we were talking about The Rock for a second. I was like, yeah, it's great. I love it. I'm with you everywhere, every step of the way.
Yeah. I remember those parts of that movie.
I cannot give that order. I cannot give that order.
I don't want to get into any details, but I will say that Shazam, I don't think is as left in the dust as we anticipated going into it. I think it has a little more future connective tissue than we might have initially anticipated. Stay tuned for the post credits.
I don't think we'll see a solo Shazam 3 ever, but we might see him around.
I mean, it didn't do well enough to.
No, absolutely not.
Well, I've been saying, and I'm slowly starting to get frustrated. I went from being like 120% pro whatever Gunn's plan was going to be to now thinking he's not going hard enough, because like I wanted that hard cut.
Right.
I was like, kill it all. Just stop.
He pulled out his red lightsaber and just like burn it to the ground.
Yeah, I was like, kill the past, or what is it? Yeah, whatever that line is.
Technically, they kind of already did with the Batgirl movie. That's them doing a hard cut right there and saying, nope, you ain't getting it. But I think they like the Flash too much, like the movie itself. I think they just love it so much to the point where they see money coming their way with it.
Because despite the fact that we get Keaton and Affleck
Starburst
and some I understand. That's funny if you've seen it, because the product placement's ridiculous in that movie. But I haven't, and honestly, I haven't seen all of their filmography, so I can't fully speak to it. But thus far, I've never liked Ezra Miller in anything that they've been in. And so when I see the Flash trailers, like all the dialogue being delivered by Ezra, I'm like, none of this performance is convincing enough to try to overshadow all the criminal activity that they've done.
This is true, but also I'm gonna go see the Batman movie inside the Flash movie. Is what I'm there.
True, it's crazy.
They have the Supergirl movie.
Yeah, but they have him doing like CG stunts that he was not doing in his prime already.
But not to minimize the severity though. But I could still go back and watch A Naked Gun and laugh when Nordberg is getting like knocked around stuff. Like O.J. Simpson, sure he was acquitted and all that, but dark past. But you can still go back and enjoy the work, the art that was created around it. Even though the person is garbage, but that's because they picked the person that is garbage. But yeah, you can not watch it, absolutely, and you can even try and let everyone know why they shouldn't watch it. But at the same time, Michael Keaton Batman.
That's all.
Michael Keaton Batman.
Absolutely. So
they
knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
that's why they won't let it go.
I think that
they let Batgirl with Michael Keaton go though.
Yeah, but this is they could do other Michael Keaton stuff. Like this is the anchor for Michael Keaton Batman.
Didn't Keaton film for Batgirl? Wasn't there rumors it was him or Affleck? One of them was in it.
It was
but
Keaton.
This is his movie. That was supposed to be a nice little addition.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really quick to go to ZH again. Thank you so much. Another $2 super chat, keeping us running tonight. I forgot Ted Lasso and Shrinking as my top non.
I need to get on Shrinking.
That's an
I
awkward
need to get on
sentence
Shrinking
to
too.
say. I was gonna say, has anyone started watching it yet? Yeah, that's on the top of my list.
I haven't watched it. We got season 4 of Succession is about to start. I think it's like the next couple months.
Show I've heard of.
It's so good.
when does Severance come back?
Don't know.
I don't know, but Severance was in one of our trailer reactions. If you remember, wasn't our anime?
That was the funniest shit of my life, dude.
We're sitting here waiting for the Righteous Gemstones to come back.
Yeah, that's
a good one.
If you ain't watching Righteous Gemstones, get on it. Steve Zahn's going to be in the next season. I love Steve Zahn.
I just watched Steve Zahn in White Lotus.
Oh, really?
I loved White Lotus. White Lotus was great.
Steve Zahn, right?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the Ashton Kutcher movie and Reese Witherspoon movie on Netflix.
Oh, see, My mind went back to
Replace
that
your
thing
mind.
you do. So
Well,
at
yeah,
least
I
we're
mean,
current.
classic Steve song.
You mean Sahara, right?
Zahara.
Look,
or
that
Bad
thing you
Monkey
do is
in War for the Planet of the Apes.
amazing.
Fire.
Such a good movie.
It's great. It's great.
It's one of those movies that no matter where it's on and when it's on, I'll watch the hell out of that.
Yeah.
I
was-
dance right along with Tom
Right,
Hanks
yeah.
in that one moment when they're sitting at the one festival and it's the other song. It's not that thing you do.
Oh,
And then he
yeah.
just does this little punch at the part of it. You're just, it's like, oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
love
I
it.
love
I
Liv
was-
Tyler's reaction when she's like putting the stamps on the thing and then she hears the song and she's getting all crazy. She's going down Orange County in
And
California.
Orange Circle.
Orange Circle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's such. That looks like the Oneaters.
The
Yeah.
No, the Wonders, like
Oh,
the Wonders.
The guys that were
Yeah.
here last night, right?
Yeah.
The guy in a really nice camper wants to put our song on the radio. Give me a pet. I'm signing. You're signing. We're all signing.
Steve's
All the
on.
time.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Mhm.
Nice.
Full circle.
Oh, real quick fun fact about that movie.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys know this, but do you know who the actual, like, what the actual band that actually recorded the song for the movie that they're all like fake playing and lip syncing to?
Oh, I've seen
The
that, but I can't remember.
Oh, Boys to-
Monkeys. Beach
Fountains
Beach
of
Boys.
Wayne.
What?
Wow.
The
That's
guys who
right.
did Stacy's mom.
It's got it
Never
going
guessed
on.
that.
My daughter's
Yeah.
name is Stacy, so
And that's clever though. If you throw
Hey,
it back
Sean,
to
does
like
Stacey's
Beatles
mom
era.
have it going on?
Yeah.
yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, obviously before that song came out, but yeah, no, the band that actually it's like how I think it was Letters to Cleo did Josie and the Pussycats.
Hmm.
I think it was Letters to Cleo, but yeah, it's Fountains of Wayne is the actual band that recorded that
That's
thing.
crazy.
For the
Like
movie.
you know what? Like they shot themselves in the foot by not pursuing that style of music.
I
Like
know,
guys,
it's so
why are
good.
you not doing
Because
this
that
stuff
song was
on
huge.
your own? On
Ret-
your
retro,
own.
like 50s, 60s
Mhm.
style.
Yeah, like why are you
Yeah.
not? And throw it in with
Do
a
swing
little
music.
bit of with a
Yeah,
little bit of your
Mix and
pop,
match. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then you'll have all the dapper kids showing up at your shows, man. Everybody dressed to the nines at your shows.
with those
you know?
cool little like comb in, like however they
Mhm.
do their hair.
Yeah, they screwed
Amazing.
up.
They really did.
Screwed up.
I just want
But
all the
there's-
kids from Sing Street to show up.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's a good movie.
I love
Fire
that movie.
soundtrack.
Hey,
But no,
Allison,
there's your little.
that was a
There's
fun
little.
fact.
What?
That was a
Was
fun
that a
fact.
fun fact?
That
You're
was a
welcome.
fun fact. Thank you.
I
I'm
loved hearing
full
it.
of great random fun facts.
Can I have so where do I have it on here? I thought I made a banner for it, but I didn't.
That thing you do.
So Robin, Vanessa, you guys have seen Dungeons and Dragons, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
And just us, right? Us three?
Sure. You guys,
Yeah, he does-
anyone
he
else?
does.
Correct, because I have not.
Nerds.
I just told
I'm
you
going on Sunday. I haven't.
the
I just-
movies that I have seen
I'm
this
not-
month. I have
Who
seen- actually,
who
let me
here
tell you,
has seen Dungeons and Dragons?
the amount? Let me just let you know the new releases that I've seen this year. In theaters, I think it's Plane, and
Oh,
then
what a
Scream,
choice.
You're the one.
and then I am the one, and then
Stop
Champions. I'm pretty sure that is my
Allison
2023
Allison
new
can
releases
only
so
watch
far.
movies with
Yeah.
one word titles.
Yes,
That's
sir.
it.
That's it. That's all
Little
you
restrictive.
I
Yeah.
didn't even realize it.
She was gonna see Creed, but then she's
But
like,
there's a
"Ooh,
three
Three,
at the end.
three. Oh, that doesn't work. Yeah.
If you just
Um,
replace one of the E's with a 3, it's fine. It'll count. We'll allow
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's threed.
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 They should have just called it Threed, right?
That's
Still
really
need to
funny.
watch Creed.
Oh no,
too.
I saw. Never
really?
mind. I'm kidding. I've seen other
I need to
movies. I
watch
saw
all the
Women
Rocky
Talking and Ant-Man and the Wasp
Oh,
and
yeah.
A Man Called Otto in February. I've seen other movies, but they just didn't
Okay.
apparently stick out.
I've only seen 2 in theaters this year. So
There you go.
I saw the Avatar and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I've seen 2 movies like this week.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
I was catching up with there was still 5 Oscar films I hadn't 4 Oscar movies I hadn't seen that were nominated. So I went through
roller coaster.
I was trying to do the math in my head. I was very poor attempt at that. Women Talking jumped into my top 10. It knocked out Black Panther.
Oh, I
And-
thought you were saying you were just now watching the 6 movies from the Oscars. I'm like,
No, well,
oh,
right before the Oscars aired, and
Yeah.
then All Quiet on the Western Front 2 jumped to I think my number 5 of the year. It was great. It was so emotional. I loved it. It was good.
Nice.
So I had to cram all those in a couple weeks ago.
I don't remember what I've seen this year.
We saw 65.
Nah, that was.
I forgot I saw that.
65 was Quantumania this year.
We saw Quantumania.
That was this year.
Scream's probably the most memorable.
Dungeons and Dragons.
And Dungeons and Dragons, of
course.
I
was going to say the besmirchment of
it's so recent. I feel like it hasn't gone into memory, like long-term memory yet.
Well, it still hasn't even come out yet.
Because because I still need to watch it again.
I think it's because we're watching movies at home too, and so it's like they're all coming together. Because we saw
Labyrinth,
Megan at home.
Ooh.
So
we're watching old movies too,
right? But like new
Megan and Cocaine Bear.
I want to talk about Labyrinth because we just did a channel review for previously you've never seen it for the Labyrinth about a month ago. Listen,
this seemed to be everyone's review of 65. It was between 65 and Cocaine Bear, and
it was
I
generic.
think I made the right decision.
Yeah.
Watch our review, you'll find out why.
Yeah. Before you jump into Labyrinth, we did have a Streamlabs because along with Super Chats, we also have Streamlabs. It's posted down below from Garth Harkness Memory. Thank you, Garth. You're always supporting the channel. Shrinking season 1 was great. Harrison Ford in one of his best roles ever as a grumpy therapist in charge of other therapists. Although I do think Jason Segel's character should have gone to jail. Okay. Harrison Ford using raw dogging wrong is so funny. That seems a lot of context is needed, and I want to watch the show though to figure all that out.
I need the context of Harrison Ford raw dogging incorrectly.
Absolutely.
But I just not spend a lot of time on it, but because there's some people that haven't seen it, quick 30 seconds. What'd you guys think of Dungeons and Dragons? Because I have nobody to talk about it with. And I had such a great time.
Everyone should go watch it.
It was good.
Especially if you're into Marvel type movies, but Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And
the better Marvel movie this year.
Remind me, is Chris Pine in a Marvel movie?
No, he's in a DC movie, but he's
no Marvel movie?
No Marvel movie.
He is now. Yeah. He is now Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, he was a voice in a Spider-Man movie, if that counts.
That's true.
And he did damn good as Peter Parker.
Then,
like the first Peter Parker. Like the serious Peter Parker, he did damn good.
Yeah,
Peter Parker with those deep blues
for 2 seconds.
But he shines. Everyone else is great. He shines. Yeah. He shines in Dungeons and Dragons. It plays all his strengths.
Becoming the best Chris between Pine and Evans.
It's him and Evans, yeah. Absolutely.
Pratt.
It will always be
Hemsworth for me, but
Pine's
there too.
Pine for me. Captain Kirk and Smoking Aces, dude.
Chris Pine.
Smoking Aces, yeah.
Chris Pine is my favorite lesbian.
Hemsworth will have words with the Thor wants to curse you.
Paul, no one needs to know these things. These are really good thoughts to have in your head.
Oh, that's the right outfit, my friend. You rock it.
A little stiff. It squeaks.
There better be a
chain mail. There's chain mail happening. It's a whole thing.
Actually, it's more similar than you know.
Super chat from our benefactor ZH. Thank you for the $5, sir. You are awesome.
I've seen Buster.
Scream 6, Shazam 2, Megan, and Quantumania in theaters. You had a nice thing going with movies with numbers in the title, and then you got to Quantumania.
Yeah.
Going for a theme. Ant-Man 3.
Although Quantumania does have Man. Right there.
Yeah, Phantom Man. Yeah,
I don't know if that makes anything happen.
What kind of superhero is he? Ants? Man?
I like ants.
Ants.
It's all Michael Douglas was saying the whole movie. I like
Ant-Man. Oh. What's everyone watching on TV?
It's great.
There was a lull while I was trying to swallow down. There was
no silence was allowed here.
We haven't had a chance to talk about Scream 2. We were going to do a review and it fell through. I got held up at work. I loved Scream 2. That might be I don't know if it's Scream or Creed for me as my number one movie of the year so far, but I really love Scream. I love the
What is for everyone who has now seen all the Scream movies, what is your ranking of them?
I did not Scream 6 down from where I put it, because it was number 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then we rewatched number 2, and it's
I put Scream 6 at number 2 still. I like 2.
But... 1, 2, and then 6 and then 3,
Mhm.
and then 4. And then
Yeah.
no, 5, 5, and then 4.
3, and then 4.
Yeah.
No, 3, 5, and 4 for me.
4's your last? Wow, I like
Yeah.
4.
Wow.
4 is my last. It's
That's
the
because you
opening.
don't have any taste.
The
Sean.
opening
With Anna Paquin, is that the one?
yeah,
with
it's
Anna
too
Paquin?
scary. It's too
Yeah, at the
scary
beginning.
movie for me,
Right.
and it derailed like the whole movie. I was like, like I just, it doesn't help when that's like the first takeaway you have from the movie. When all the other takeaways it had from every other movie was. And I didn't buy the killers either in the Ghostface.
I think Scream 6 has my
Right.
favorite, besides 1, my favorite opening sequence.
Scream 6 did
Scream.
some cool shit with it. I think the opening
Yeah.
sequence of like, are we do we want to talk about it all? Do we want to go into spoilers and tell people
I mean,
if they haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I haven't
are
seen
not
5
going
or
to.
6. So
Then we will not. Good call, sir.
I'm actually currently rewatching to build up to 5 and 6. I watched Scream 3 a couple nights ago. I almost watched Scream 4 before coming here, but I wasn't feeling well, so took a nap.
I personally dropped Scream 2 down to 3 now and put 6 in front of it just because I have an ex that looks like Timothy Olyphant and he's a piece of shit.
Ooh.
So I can't like ever watch anything with Timothy Olyphant and not think that.
Oh, no.
Timothy Oliphant's a piece of shit. Did I?
No,
miss
my
something?
ex is a piece of shit that looks like
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
ruined it for me.
I will say
projecting hatred on him.
I actually walked away from Scream 3 liking it. I really don't. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I
love
enjoyed it.
I like
Yeah.
3.
I don't
thought it
think
was
there's
good
a
angle.
I don't think there's a bad one. I like them all. I think
Yeah.
that is my least favorite, but
Yeah.
I like them all. I could rewatch them all easily.
Sure.
But I think that would be the bottom of my list. That being, they're all positive reviews out of me.
I mean,
Yeah.
Patrick Warburton is in Scream 3 and gets
He is.
killed by Ghostface. Great.
There's Scream 3.
That
Yeah,
could
he's
be
the-
maybe a little
As a terrible bodyguard.
Yeah.
he's the
I
worst.
just want to throw out that
You have no idea how much this kills me, Garth. It crushes me. Like 'cause I do love Timothy Olyphant, but like as soon as he pops up on my screen, I always have like that quick. It'll like, ugh, and then I
Well,
get
you're
over
supposed to hate him in Scream 2, so that's you're right.
So it
You're right
works.
there. You're supposed. It works out. Speaking of Garth, Jesse, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well I can do that too. We had another Streamlabs from Garth Harkness Murray, my man. Garth said, "I started playing D&D in 1978. I was so not born yet. When I was 10 years old, and we got picked on for it. The Satanic Panic. That's a big part of the most recent Stranger Things. The Satanic Panic was bad, and my religious mom burned all my D&D stuff. I love that Critical Role and others have spread the joy of D&D. Looking forward to seeing the movie. Garth, whenever you get around to it, I hope you have an absolute blast. To me, it felt very much so like the Chaotic campaign that I've played. I'm not a D&D expert. I've only played a little bit, but in the bit that I've played, I thought it really tonally got it.
I know nothing about D&D. I haven't got into Critical Role. I had a good time. I was watching Sean Sullivan and PJ. They built PJ a character on Sully's Twitch channel. And it was fun, like just watching them kind of go through, like, here's what, your paladin, your wizard, your whatever will do. And so that was kind of cool, like building out the arc. It's really meant for like the game itself, not the movie, right? The movie's for everyone, but the game I feel like is really meant for like a lot of creative types and writer types. I feel like that's the people who kind of like surge in that, and I don't consider myself that. I would never want to write a story, so I don't know how good I would be at that, but I would love to watch it.
How much do we have to pay Sean Sullivan to be our DM and have flipping real Dungeons and Dragons?
Let's gather up the Streamlabs.
We played a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons with the movie couple and Roka.
Yeah, you guys, you have no idea.
It was a lot of fun.
Roka as a D&D character is as great as it would sound. The outlaw who is incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's basically like Dark Tower, man. It's like the gunslinger.
Okay.
Wow.
And it's bad. And he was so good at it. And yeah, we played with the movie couple as well, Wendy Lee Zaney and Dustin. And
but John's so reserved. I would never think of.
But yeah,
that's what everyone thinks.
He's so laid back.
So laid back.
That was the only experience we had. But I don't know, man. It was great because
I like my character.
Our characters were always. What was it? We were a wizard and like a sorcerer.
I think you were a wizard and I was a sorcerer.
So we canceled each other out basically.
Oh, okay.
But we would always be arguing
Because
our characters would be arguing.
Stuff and I
would just be shit talking the whole time and digging through stuff to find things. Can I look in that hole? Like there's nothing in there. Like yeah, but can I dig in it and find it? So
roll for perception.
I'm just over here in the corner messing around, and Roka in character would like talk so much shit to us. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Where is this? Like, was this for a Patreon thing? What is this?
No, we just wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
And we should have recorded it, but yeah.
Well,
it sounds like it. Yeah,
we should have. Done a whole thing.
Whenever we find, because my big thing is like I'm so down to play some D&D. I'm not going to be the DM. I need somebody with experience. But if we can get that going, who's in?
I'd be down if someone else ran stuff. I don't know.
I'm saying anybody can play. I think being a dungeon master takes some level of skill and knowledge, but anybody can play D&D.
Look, I'm always down to try something new. Don't threaten me with a good time.
I've only played once or twice, but I'm always
there's a reason we stopped playing with Wendy and Dustin and John Roca. It's a commitment. It is a commitment, and we were like, it's not as.
That's why you have guest
for the
characters.
Yeah, we
exactly, Garth. every single time. Garth sent in another Streamlabs. Thank you, Garth, for dropping another buck on us. For those who haven't watched any Critical Role, please watch The Legend of Vox Machina seasons 1 and 2 on Amazon Prime. In fact, join the Late to the Party Patreon and experience the show with Vanessa and Robert. I'm one of the many producers of the show.
Awesome.
Plug. Absolutely.
Plug. I want to point out that Cheryl mentioned something that I had also mentioned earlier in the night, and that is the fact that Love is Blind, the new season, had started.
You did mention that.
And yay for trash reality TV show. Cheryl, I knew you would love. I don't know what it is. But it's just like we're like soulmates now with this information, because all I want to do is talk about everything Love is Blind and trash.
We'll make you a channel on the Discord, a Love is Blind channel.
You guys watch the challenge?
Yes.
You're watching the one that's on Paramount Plus right now, the World Champions.
No.
So they're bringing like everyone together.
I love it. I'm gonna start more trash reality, dude. I'm like living my trash reality TV dream right now with all of the drama on Vanderpump Rules. And if any of you know what's going on, throw it in the chat too, because they just filmed the reunion yesterday and I cannot wait for the bloodbath. Just saying.
We were watching Jersey Shore Family Vacation as well.
Yeah.
And just fun? Like the Angelina and
so you can get all into it now. How details you want to get with the story?
The situation.
She falls in the pool security guard
going on.
Yeah, as always.
They're going at each other right now.
We're gonna turn it into a Jersey Shore review.
I know, right?
I would.
Ronnie came back.
I would. Ronnie's
not been there in a while.
Apparently, Sam is gonna come back next season. I don't even know what's going on.
I'm so excited.
I think Bravo needs to put Sammy Sweetheart on the Real Housewives of New Jersey and stop being cowards.
I'm for it.
Just saying, make her a housewife.
I haven't heard these names in so many years. I was sick. I was sicker than I've ever been sick in my life, and I stayed home from work one day, and I think my wife maybe left the TV on when she was like getting ready for work or something, and I couldn't find the remote, and it was on MTV, and I watched like 9 hours straight of Jersey Shore because like I literally had no energy to get up and search the room or the blankets for the remote, and it was just stuck on. And I couldn't do anything about it.
And did you thank your wife afterwards when she came home for letting you watch such glorious TV?
It was terrible. And this was like this was peak. This was like 10 years ago. It was like peak Jersey Shore time too.
Great Jersey Shore time.
And I was like, I knew all the characters at the time. All the people. I guess they're not. They are.
Snooki getting punched in the face at a bar.
It was probably that whole season. Yeah.
Wild.
The perfect match. More trash reality.
So good. It's so good.
You guys are the problem.
There's two reasons to watch Netflix: trash TV and The Sandman.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
And Power Rangers for once and all for once.
Once
The
and
trailer
forever, or something
once
like
and
that?
forever. Yeah,
Once and
You
always.
you guys are nailing this Power Rangers plug.
Power Rangers.
Absolutely.
They're somewhere doing something.
Power Rangers started when I was 5 years old. I was like prime candidate for Power Rangers.
It is
get
once and
all into it.
always.
There you go.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Great job, guys.
Check out our reaction on our channel now.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, the originator of the real ones, sup real ones. The irony is not lost on me that I'm late to a stream with late to the party. No, it's very on brand.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
Welcome, Mike.
Speaking of late to the party, I want to take a moment because Robert and I talked a little bit before the show about your Better Late Than Never series that I don't know a whole lot about, but tell me more about, because that sounds like a blast.
So this is crazy. Like, as a YouTube channel, typically you'll kick around shows that you want to run with. And sometimes the shows will stick around and you'll stick with them and they're moderately successful. And then other ones, you'll do them for a little bit and then you kind of just, cast them aside, or you don't put as much energy into them anymore. So they just kind of sit on the back burner for a long time. Well, we had a hardcore, consistent run of a series called Better Late Than Never, which was us going back and watching trailers of movies of the past, and we would basically do the review of the movie based on the trailer.
I remember you guys huddled on a couch together.
Yeah, that was part of it.
Yeah,
sure. And the Better Late Than Never series, we ran forever. Then it was the pandemic that ended up stopping it.
Movie based on the trailer.
We reviewed the trailer. Had we seen the movie, we review the movie. If we if we hadn't seen the movie, then we basically approach it like any other trailer reaction, and we talk about the movie of what we've heard, what we think we know, and what the trailer is showing us and why we would watch it. But then the pandemic happened and it stopped. And then movie reactions became a thing. It turns out we could have been doing damn movie reactions all the time. And we would have been at the forefront, but no, late to the party. So we just resurrected that series as movie reactions of films of the past, retro reactions that we've never seen. Yeah. And it's crazy because it got me thinking, it's like there's so many movies that a lot of us, top hit movies that all of us have never seen. Mm-hmm. And it blows my mind when you hear
Yeah.
So you guys think of some.
What a great idea. No, I love it. And it's so fun because I'm not the only one that I love what you guys do with your reactions. I popped into the live chat during your premiere with the Predator reaction, which was absolutely hilarious. And it was amazing. It was so good. But it's fun because the one thing that I've learned from doing a podcast where I'm going back and watching these movies, that most of them are movies that I feel like I should have seen but haven't already. Other ones are money plane.
Blame lawn hairs.
Where's my blame lawn hairs t-shirt?
But it's fun because I get to talk to people, and you guys know, and Sean and Jesse, as well, when I get to talk to people about a movie I haven't seen that they love, it makes the conversation so much more fun because you're getting to experience something you're getting to experience someone else seeing something you love for the first time. So there's a little bit of joy behind that. It's this is why I love it. There's sometimes a heartbreak depending on how I review it and how many stars I give it. But it's just, there's just something about it, it's why I don't have a set structure really with my show other than a couple of things, because I want the conversation to be as natural as possible. And I feel like that comes across really genuine. I don't know, the people who have been guests, you can let me know, but I think it's what makes it so much fun is people love watching other people experience something they enjoyed, and it gets to be talked about. And that's why I've had the most fun ever doing this show, even with the name change and everything else behind the scenes. But it's been, no matter how bummed out I get or how exhausted I get, then I have amazing people you guys with Late to the Party, or having Hal on and finishing our recording, and then having Hal someone who Sean, you're great, but having someone who
I was talking about the Godfather thing, but yeah
I've never seen any of the Godfathers because we go watch it on the channel.
Yeah,
I just saw them for the first time. Actually,
I I watched the first two during the pandemic, and I will tell you my funny stories about that after you watch them. But no, it's so nice to do something like this and really enjoy it and have a good time with it. So that's my soapbox for the minute. So
my favorite thing was when you had the movie guys on for the first time. Adam and Paul are some
and
of the
I kept
best
fucking
people.
up my intro, and I had to leave it in because it became an ongoing joke throughout the show.
Well,
I had to leave this horrible 17 times retake of the intro because we kept joking about how like I kept fucking it up. So I was like, well, no one's gonna have context for this, so I have to leave it in.
Well, no, but you started talking about the movie, and you were dancing around trying to figure out a way to be like, Blade Runner was. And Adam Witt just goes, "Oh, the movie's boring."
Yeah,
like he was very boring.
Blade Runner, Blade Runner.
Self-aware,
We're like, what did you think about the movie, Alice?
It took me like 4 tries to watch Blade Runner. It was a struggle.
It's slow. Especially because there's 4 different versions of it.
That stressed me out doing it. When I asked them to be on the show originally, and we decided that we were going to do Blade Runner, I went and told my husband, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to record with the movie guys. They're going to be like my third guest. Yeah. We're going to do Blade Runner." He goes, "Oh, which version?" I went, "What?" What do you mean? I don't understand. It's Blade Runner. He's like, "Yeah, but you have the theatrical, you have this, you have the San Francisco cut, you have this."
The director's
You need to have Lego on to watch Lamageddon.
Sure, first time. Are we gonna do a double feature?
Lamageddon.
Hasn't Lego only been on like once for like Willow?
Yeah, Lego, come on the channel more.
Yeah, fix that.
We went to go see Blade Runner 2049, but we went to a late showing.
Which is already a bad idea.
That we went to a late showing after I worked, and the music, the Hans Zimmer music, is so like tranquil. I fell asleep.
I love that score, but
I would put on Blade Runner.
But I watched it after that. Yeah.
The only thing worse than that is I saw Les Mis at 10 o'clock at night.
I've never seen Les Mis. I should put that on the list too.
I made the second time I ever fell asleep in a theater. The first time was when Return of the King, or
I knew it was going to be Return of the King.
Return of the King or something came out, and we went at midnight, and like being super young, and I was just like, I fell asleep there too. But then I went and saw it again the same weekend. I was like, okay.
The last movie I fell asleep to in the theater was Jurassic World Dominion.
Good
man.
Halfway through.
Honestly, I wished I could have fallen asleep during the movie.
That's a movie that's better unconscious. I will say that.
Yeah. Suddenly it jumps. Yeah.
I'm like, this was a movie.
I added Les Mis to the list, and then I realized Sweeney Todd also I have never seen.
I like Sweeney Todd.
Okay, I wanted to do
featuring Vecna.
When my husband and I were first dating, I made him go see Les Mis with me because it's my favorite musical, one of my favorite musicals of all time. And I knew going into it how much singing is Les Mis. It's the entire show. Yeah. So we walk out of the theater, and keep in mind, my husband also despises the French Revolution. It's like his like most like least favorite thing in history. He just thinks it's so stupid.
Random thing to just be like, I hate the French Revolution. When did that come up?
Curse you.
Because you didn't want to go.
What I hate the French Revolution.
The French Revolution sucks. But I'm like, okay, but we're still gonna go see it. And as we're walking out.
I'm not going to argue with
that's Frank's Tinder profile. On the bottom, it just says "fuck the French Revolution."
But as we're walking out, like his mom called, so he answered the phone and he told her what we were doing, like what we just walked out. She's like, "Oh, how'd you like it?" He goes, "They sang fucking everything." Like if one of them had to go to the bathroom, they'd have fucking sung about that too.
I'll put it at the bottom of the list.
But Anne Hathaway did get Best Supporting Actress for like 5 minutes.
I was about to say, there are some pretty good performances, but the close-ups are way too much.
I think the one really cool thing that he did in this movie that wasn't really done before with musicals is it's all live singing. It was like one of the first ones to do that. So, what? Anyway, it's all so like it wasn't a pre-recorded soundtrack that they're lip syncing to. So everything was done with live singing. Like they would have like the earpiece or whatever so they could hear the music in their ear. Yeah. But it was all live singing on set. There was no like pre-recorded anything. So I think that in
Did
itself.
they tell Russell that they weren't going to dub over it?
Frank also mentioned that if you've seen the show Les Mis and what happens to Russell Crowe, he was like, that's a bit dramatic of him. Didn't have to go that far.
I've never seen it.
There you go. Then you'll find out.
I will say the first version of Les Mis I ever saw was the one with Liam Neeson and Jeffrey Rush, which is just a straight one. Yeah, which is just a straight film adaptation. And so I knew it was a musical when I went to see it, but I did not realize that it was sing. I mean, it's basically an opera, Les Mis.
Yeah.
And so when I went to see, I love musicals, so I was fine with it. But I did walk out going, "Wow, I don't think they said 2 words in that film or in the musical." And
they don't in the show. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
But
I've seen the show several times.
I'm waiting for a Hamilton adaptation with no music. And
that would be.
I still haven't finished Hamilton.
Sean, you're the worst of us.
But he just keeps throwing away his shot, is what he's doing.
He was in the room where it happened.
Yeah, and
I started it.
Well, now he's in the eye of a hurricane.
I went back. I've been mentioning
puns.
I've been mentioning this for months, and I still haven't recorded anything about it. But when the Schmodown ended, and I didn't have to watch any more IG movies. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go catch up on movies that I've never seen. Like a lot of classics and Oscar movies is just stuff I've just never seen. So I started at 1970, and I'm working my way forward. And so I've watched all the Oscar nominated films for Best Picture through currently. I just started Heaven Can Wait the other day, which is 1978. So,
Landon, right? No. That was he did Highway to Heaven on television.
Highway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Warren Beatty.
Yeah, no, that was Warren Beatty. Yeah, Warren Beatty.
Yeah. So I'm about halfway through that. I started last night. But I had never seen The Godfather Part 2. The only Oscar nominated films from the 5 Best Picture nominated films from the entirety of the 70s I had ever seen was Star Wars and Rocky. And that was it.
You've never seen Jaws?
I had never seen Jaws. No, I never seen Jaws. I have now. When they re-released it last, was it Memorial Day or something? I took the kids to go see it in 3D, and so I forced my kids to sit through it. But it was really good. It was good seeing it in theaters too, instead of watching it at home, because it did hold up with the 3D conversion. It was pretty damn good. I really enjoyed it, and Robert Shaw was incredible.
Yeah. Oh, the USS, the Minneapolis. What is it? I can't remember, but his little
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, you're right.
USS Indianapolis. Oh,
it's the only thing. It's the only thing I've ever seen Robert Shaw in, too. Now that I think about it,
really?
He was in The Sting as well. He played the bad guy in The Sting.
He's also in one of the.
I loved The Sting. It was really good.
He's in
going on the list.
It's
on my list too. I was waiting for someone to talk about it.
You got Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
I think it's From Russia with Love. It's one of the James Bond movies. He's in one of those. Yeah. He's
From Russia with Love. Yes.
Yeah. He's trying to kill Bond.
Oh, that's awesome! I got to watch that one too.
I'd like to go through all the old ones. I've never seen the old ones. I started with GoldenEye and I never looked back.
He died he died pretty young, I guess, like 1927 to 1978.
Is it good?
I do want to ask everybody on screen a question, but first we do have another Streamlabs from Garth Harkness with Murray.
Woo!
Thank you, Garth. I want to know if Garth ever started watching Letterkenny, because he said he was supposed to, because McMurray's a piece of shit in that show. Garth says, it's okay, Sean. Hamilton doesn't count as a movie. It's a higher budgeted bootleg of a Broadway show. Listen, you're kind of right.
It definitely, I will say this, it definitely doesn't hit like it does when you can see it in a theater. It's much different watching it on the, and I get why they did it. It made it more accessible to people that aren't ever going to have a chance to see it. And that's awesome.
I haven't been able to see it in person, and I love the version on Disney Plus.
Yeah, no, it's so well done. It's just one of those things where it's going to honestly any stage performance I think is going to hit differently watching it from your home versus being there watching people perform it live. It's just like watching a concert on, going back and watching like the live concert on YouTube or videos or footage from it is great, but like actually being in the crowd is a different feeling in my opinion, personally.
It's a different medium.
Did anyone watch Encanto at the Hollywood Bowl on Disney Plus? That was pretty cool.
Bits and pieces of it when it was like just live. I think it was live, wasn't it? Live airing on Disney Plus, or was it?
I'm not aware.
I thought they aired it live, and I think it's available for VOD or something.
I feel like we were kind of dancing around this before, so I just want to present it to both the chat and everyone on here. What's a film that you immediately think of that's embarrassing that you still haven't seen with an extra period?
Let me pull up my list. For you.
Name a Scorsese movie.
Oh wow! Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen a lot of Scorsese.
I've seen The Departed, and now I've seen Taxi Driver. Yeah, Taxi Driver.
I've seen that. I've seen Taxi Driver. I've seen Goodfellas. Oh, and The Irishman. That might be it.
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen a Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
The Departed.
Honestly,
or he did
Wall Street.
What's the other Leo
one? Oh, I forgot about Wolf of
Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah, I forget.
I'm the worst.
Gangs of New York does not feel like a Scorsese movie. I'm just gonna say that.
But also, there's only if
same with Shutter Island. That's a weird.
Cameron Diaz's terrible Irish accent is just one of the many things wrong.
I'm
with
sorry, Leo's accent in that movie is horrible.
But you know who's great in that movie? Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, honestly, if the whole movie had been
great.
just him.
I'm going to put this out there, and I feel like I said this on one of my episodes of Reels like the first time. I don't, and tell me if I'm correct, I don't think I would be able to recognize Daniel Day-Lewis on the street, like, as himself. Like, I don't feel like I know what he actually looks like as a human being.
You don't think Daniel would be in plain
what
view?
his personality is?
Yeah, I feel like I would just see, like, I either need to see him with, like, a giant Lincoln beard or big curly Q mustaches. Like, I don't think, I think he's so good at like his method acting that I don't know what he looks like as a human.
I will say, when I was a kid, for the longest time, I felt the same way about Dustin Hoffman, because the first two films with Dustin Hoffman I ever saw were Hook and Dick Tracy. And I'm like, what the hell does this man look like?
Listen, I watched Dick Tracy for the first time actually less than a year ago. I loved it.
It's a great movie.
It's so much fun, and it's
see, I love you.
That cast is stacked. All the people under the makeup.
Al Pacino.
It's
the
better. Have you seen Sin City?
No, I've never seen Sin City.
Okay, I was gonna say it's the better. It's what Sin City wanted to be, because it's much better version of Sin City.
True. I will
damn,
say,
it really is, isn't it?
Right?
I never thought about that.
I saw it as a kid.
That makes it even better.
I saw it as a kid, and then I was doing like the graphic novel binge for IG and stuff last year, and I was like, "Holy shit! I forgot how good this movie was." It was really good.
We need to have Robert and Vanessa need just that clip of Cap saying, "I'll add it to the list," just on.
I'll add it to the list. Yeah.
Let's see if I can find a GIF.
Going back for just a second, Sean. If you want to see one of the best comedies of all time, you skipped it in the 70s because you were only doing Best Picture nominees. But What's Up, Doc? One of the all-time best comedies. Barbra Streisand, Ryan O'Neal, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. It is amazing.
I'll put it on
the list.
It's got one of the best car chase scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It's just bit on bit on bit. It's great.
Nice.
I mean, we want to talk about some good car chase scenes. Probably out of one of the best ones that I've ever seen. Again, covered on what was, you've never seen it. I did an episode with my husband on To Live and Die in LA. That's a phenomenal, gritty 90s, like or 80s, like early 90s, dirty LA movie. The entire soundtrack is done by the band Wang Chung, which is amazing.
That's a terrible name.
No, that's amazing.
It's incredible. It's like 80, like just great Willem Dafoe. It's like one of his first performances. So that's phenomenal. But it has this epic, like very realistic car chase scene that is just so fun. And the way that he filmed all of it was very, exactly, Garth McMurray. He's a money counterfeiter. It's one of those movies kind of like when, you know, how like Breaking Bad got a bunch of shit because it showed realistically making meth. To Live and Die in LA showed how to counterfeit bills so well that people were watching it to learn how to do it.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah. But the guerrilla filmmaking that he did, like just filming in real, like there's an airport scene where like they're running through an airport and like those are real people and they just are walking through with the camera. Like they didn't get a permit to film there. It's great. Definitely add it to the list. To Live and Die in LA.
It's a mad world. Has multiple amazing, incredible, don't know how they didn't die. They probably did. I think they did. Car chases in it, especially like the final freaking car chase to where they end up on a foot chase and they all get their comeuppance. But man, the practical effects and the choreography, and just when they switch to like the inside shots of everybody in the car, like the effects to everybody in the car is incredible. Sylvester, it's my favorite car chase of all time. We still need to see also Blues Brothers. I hear there's a pretty good car chase.
Through the
Blues
mall
Brothers
in Chicago.
Have you seen The French Connection as well?
Yes, dude, with Gene Hackman, right?
Yes,
I mean, that's definitely one of the best action car chases of all time.
I've not
It's
seen
great.
The French Connection. I need
When they're
to.
skipping the subway, trying to get down the street. Incredible.
That's all I ever heard about that movie before I watched that one. It was the car chase that all car chases are based on.
Let's be honest, it was really the best part of the movie.
I agree.
Yeah,
I do very much. It's the ending, you know. It's leading to the ending, and you got to check out French Connection if you haven't. Gene Hackman's incredible. It is on the list, and Blues Brothers.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I love it. Blues Brothers is great. That is a phenomenal, very fun flick, and it's also my favorite thing to make sure I see every time I go to Universal Studios Florida is the Blues Brothers show because they are super fun.
We got the park shut down for us for a work event.
That's awesome.
Back in 2018, and the Blues Brothers were out there. They closed off like half the park, like Simpsons Land wasn't open in Florida, but the Blues Brothers were out there and they were performing for like 3 hours straight.
Yeah,
and they were just like on a cycle. It was just for a bunch of employees, basically.
I hope they got overtime.
I know, right?
Probably not.
But there was like 100 of us, so it's not like the park was full. It was very limited. Like, all right, guys, we've seen it. Keep going, but
let me see your tail feather. That's such a good movie. It's so fun. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. Okay, well now I have to ask the question. Have you seen Roadhouse?
No.
I know about it.
Perfect.
I always stop watching once I get to a certain part. I just lose interest. It's weird.
You're not wrong in that. But still, like, you gotta push through because something eventually happens that they talk about that Dalton's able to do, and then he eventually does it in the film, and it's wild. And I don't want to give too much away.
Are you excited for the remake with Jake Gyllenhaal?
I mean, I'm excited to look at Jake Gyllenhaal in the remake. Did you see how ripped he was?
He's ripped.
Is that what that UFC fight stuff was for?
Yeah. So they filmed a scene with Jake Gyllenhaal versus a real fighter, Jay Herone, who playing some character in the movie. Yeah. And so they filmed it in between fights, like in between like the prelims,
the actual weigh-in. Yeah,
I wondered what that was for.
Yeah, so they had him do the weigh-in with Dana White and actually shake his hand, do the whole thing. He was jacked, and then they actually had him film inside the octagon in between a couple of the fights.
I mean, so they could more ripped than he was in Southpaw. Like he showed up there, and I'm just like, oh, look. I love Taylor's 10-minute version of All Too Well, but let me tell you. I am Team Swift all the way. And then he showed up with all of those abs.
Where's the scarf? Where's the scarf?
Vanessa's still on a Taylor Swift high. She just saw her at the first show.
Did you have the best time?
It was so
You got to go?
I got to go to the first showing, and it was so amazing.
Oh, yeah, I saw you post some pictures, yeah.
Where I want to go again, but yeah.
She's still recovering.
Like I'm still recovering.
She's still knocked her on her ass. Yeah. She lost her
3
voice.
3 hours.
4 if you count Paramore.
That's true.
it took me 5 hours to get the tickets for my wife. It was she was in Mexico and she hits me up and I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm just not at work or anything. Yeah. But I guess I'll stay with my phone in the queue for this long. And it reset at one point and I was so mad. It put me at the end of the queue.
Yeah. And how many internal organs did you sell to get these tickets?
So something was happening with obviously Ticketmaster and their terrible website. When I chose them, and they're upper deck, it's going to be Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, where the 49ers play. And they're like upper deck and behind the stage, but it was like the only seats for under $200.
Oh, sure.
And I picked them and they were like $180 each or something. Yeah. When I got to the checkout, it kicked me out. It put me back in. It reserved the seats, but then it didn't. Like their system was all screwy. When I went to actually check out, they were only like $65 a piece. So there was surge pricing happening, and I got on the lucky note. I got all 5 tickets for only $65 a piece.
Nice.
And I looked at them like a month later on like the resale websites. Mm-hmm. They're going for $2,000 each.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, let's fucking sell them. No, we gotta take the girls. I don't give a shit.
Let's put our kids through college is what we need to do.
Yeah. Whatever. You're going to spend that damn money before they even get to college.
Yeah. I was like, or.
On something else.
Yeah.
Pay for that experience.
I'm not something going. Else I don't care.
I know.
Honestly, that was one of my favorite pieces of advice. I think I was watching an episode of Chopped. And they were like, so what do you think you're going to do with the money if you win? And they were like, oh, pay off student loans. And one of the chefs was like, don't do that. He was like, do something fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, don't pay off student loans.
I bought a bunch of merch when we were there too. And I got a sweater. And apparently the sweater was really popular and it sold out really quickly. And Robert's like, just sell it.
First thing I said, just sell it.
Youngcast.
But like, no, I'm keeping it.
But no, at the same time, man, you're paying for the experiences and you're paying them for a much cheaper price than what all these other people want to be paying for.
I'm not going. It's for my wife and my daughter and her friends. So
of course it is, man. They want
go. Good for you guys.
They want to go. Let them go and enjoy themselves. Because if System of a Down put on a show on the caliber of what Taylor Swift does, you best believe I'm dropping $500 to go watch System of a Down.
System was my first concert I ever went to. It was such a blast. I was like, I was in high school. I was like, why does it smell funny in here?
I knew why it smelled funny in there. I was the one.
You were in Sacramento that weekend?
Probably. I don't remember. It was a good time. But I've never seen System. It's the one that I went to a System of a Down concert, and this was before cell phones were even a thing. So if anything, it was a pager, but you didn't really have those. I didn't have one. I didn't sell marijuana. But we went to a concert like way out in the sticks at like this farm country where they do like the Pima County Fair every year. And I went, my friends got like super loaded. System of a Down was headlining, and they got super loaded. They're like, we're leaving. And I'm like, what? They're like, we're leaving. We're going to go. Because Stained was there and they saw him already. It's like, that's who they cared for. And I was like, I don't have a way to get home. I can't just call my mom and say, come all the way out to the Pima County Fairgrounds, fight the traffic to get in, to get me, to get out. And I was just like, all right. And I left with him. It's the only way. And that's as close as I've ever come to watching System. So yeah, Taylor Swift, I would pay that money.
I just saw back in February, I went with my folks. We went to go see Bruce Springsteen because he's doing his big E Street Band stadium tour right now. And I'd seen Bruce before, but it was different being able to like go with my folks to see someone that like I started listening to because of them. But we had tickets right behind the stage, but it was perfect. Like we had a great view. We could see everything. Music was phenomenal. One of the best shows I've ever been to, even though like it was a big old stadium. It was so much fun. I had the best time.
That's how I felt about Paul McCartney. Everything you just said, how it's like something you grew up with. You were brought up with it. And now here it is playing out in front of you. Incredible show. Up there, like it shares with Muse for like the best concert experiences ever.
Yeah.
I
only have 2.
I really haven't been to a lot of concerts. The closest thing I came to a concert recently is I saw Bono in Sing 2.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I was like, I was wondering where the joke was going to be. Starbucks? Like, where did you see Bono?
That was weird casting, by the way. The voice with the character did not match.
Big old lion.
Yeah.
One of the things that like Frank and I had discussed doing, because we went to a couple of shows towards the end of last year. We went to one in September for a band that he really liked. That was phenomenal. Then we went to one in November for me for a couple of bands that I really liked. These bands, Small Pools and Young Rising Suns. And both concerts were just phenomenal. We just had a really, really fun time. And we both really enjoy live music. So we've kind of made it a point at least once a month to like either go to a show if there's like something small enough, or like the one that we really, really, really want to go to, or just like go and experience live music somewhere. Cause it's just such a good, it's for me. I need music. Like it was music before movies for me, basically. And
music or cheesecake? What
yeah, right.
Come on, you gotta sell it.
Honestly, I think I gotta support that. Yeah.
The cheesecake.
Yeah, we're seeing Yellow Card in May as well.
July. We're seeing
Are you seeing a story of the year with them when you guys see them?
I don't think Story of the Year will be with us when they come.
Because they jump on at different times on the tour.
Yeah.
Well, then we need to find out who's playing with Yellow Card. Because
I got you.
Do you know where? Is it going to be at a place on Ocean Avenue?
It's the Ocean Avenue anniversary show, so you're going to get every track.
Have you guys seen those, like, it's like the TikTok skits of that guy? I think his name's like Matt or something, where every time they start playing like some emo music, all of a sudden he gets like emo superpowers with like the black hair.
Yeah.
No.
They did one for Ocean Avenue, but those are funny. Look them up.
Hey man, if you've been in any of those mosh pits, you know those people are superpowered.
There's a place, a brewery. There's a brewery downtown here in Tucson that they put on what is called Cryfest.
I love that.
Cryfest, dude.
And so they do all the hits, you know.
Dude, they do some sick covers. It's a bunch of local bands all doing like screamo, pop rock type stuff. And yeah, I can't wait. We're gonna go to that in May. Didn't even know it existed. Apparently, it's been a thing here forever. But word finally reached us.
What's the Star Wars Explained was talking about it. Alex and Molly, Mosh Isley, they did during Celebration.
Yeah, in Anaheim.
That seems like a blast. That's something I would love to go to.
It's something I would love to. I wish there were more places that did. Why is there no clubs that do specifically that? You bring bands in, especially like LA. Where is it at? Everybody be showing up to that. It'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still some good venues that bring the band. They're all anniversary tours right now, which is great because then you get the whole album.
Skylight Drive is coming here
to Tucson,
too, but they're doing not the album.
But it's not the album I really like. It was the one before that, so it's like I'll wait for the 20 year.
You guys are getting some good ones for yours with Yellow Card. You have Mayday Parade, Anne Berlin, and This Wild Life going on tour on those shows. You got Anne Berlin. Fuck. God, I love Anne Berlin.
I know some of those like words. Names. Those are words. They've been put them together. I had seen Linkin Park was the only other concert I went to, and Prodigy opened up for them. And I want to say someone got carted out on a stretcher for being in the mosh pit during the Prodigy part of it when they were just opening up for them. I'm like, I'm gonna stay up here in my seats. I'm not gonna, try to break a limb.
Back when like Ticketmaster had that big like class action lawsuit and they were giving away like the free tickets or whatever, one of the first shows that we were able to go to with it was at the time it was the Taste of Chaos tour. And it had it was
My Chemical Romance and the Used.
No, not My Chemical Romance. What year was it? It was who was it? It was Seosin with Anthony Green, the early November, Taking Back Sunday, and Dashboard Confessional.
Incredible.
It was so great. And because it was at a amphitheater in Tampa and it was free like general admission tickets, I thought we were getting like lawn seats because it was an amphitheater, but no, it was like actual like floor pit tickets that they were giving for free because they were GA. So we get there and it was there's a big difference between seeing like Seosin and Taking Back Sunday when you're in your like near 30s versus very early 20s. And most of that is everyone with their hands on their knees in between songs, catching their breath like this.
Oh, Jesse, that's a poll. Come on, man.
It was.
I don't want to choose.
First time I ever saw Seosin was a little hole in the wall in Tucson, Arizona, with Anthony Green before he left to go do Circus Survive.
Mhm.
And Seosin, they opened with Every Time I Died, leading into the main event, which was Census Fail. And then, damn, where was I going with this? Son of a bitch, it's slipping away from my brain. Okay, we have to stop there. Seosin, Anthony Green.
Great show.
Every time we die.
Every
In a
time
small
I die.
hall at the Rock, and you were the only one that could drink. Oh no, I don't know.
She's adding stuff to my story. I'm like, yes, the drink. No, and Every Time I Die, one of the lead guitarist.
Oh, and you were singing the whole. Yeah, okay.
The lead guitarist. He's like a wrestler right now in AEW.
Yeah.
So like the only reason I went to an AEW show is because I wanted to watch a dude
No,
from Every Time I Die that was at a concert.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That walked by me with the drum kit, and I'm like, oh my god, that dude is massive. And then I watched him jam out with Every Time I Die. I want to see that dude kick some ass in a tag team match. And
It
that
wasn't
we
Jericho,
did.
was it?
No,
Yeah.
the Butcher.
Oh, okay.
God damn
What-
it, Garth.
I was gonna say, were you at this concert with Garth?
Oh, now I remember. Lincoln Park. That's where I wanted to go. Lincoln Park. Your opening for Lincoln Park. My opening for Lincoln Park was Korn, Snoop Dogg, The Used.
What?
Less Than Jake. Yeah, it was incredible.
Less than Jake.
Much bigger concert than the one I went to.
during Reanimation, when Korn and Linkin Park had the collaboration, and Jonathan Davis came out and sang One Step Closer to the End.
I
died.
I
died and came back to Earth at that Linkin Park show.
That sounds fun. I'm not jealous at all.
Incredible.
No crumbs left. No crumbs left. They had to carry me out.
Sad. Did you hear Mike Shinoda's new track for Scream 6 too? He
Sure
put
did.
out. I liked the song. It was really good.
Demi, right?
Lovato?
Demi
There was a female
Lovato did Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato did the singing for that song. Yes.
Okay.
There was
with Mike Shinoda.
Unless he made another song for Scream, but Demi Lovato had one that he also wrote for.
That's
for
her still alive.
It's called In My Head with Kaylee Morgue.
What? So there's another one?
It was the one in the trailer, I want to say. I think it's when they first get to New York. They're doing like a pan shot over the city, and the song is playing. I was like, oh, because I had already seen the music video for it. It was pretty good. I didn't hear the one with Demi Lovato, though.
There's a music video to it. It's actually kind of fun.
For the Demi Lovato one, yeah. Yeah, he wrote that song too. Yeah.
He's in it.
You know what? Okay.
In the music video.
Good enough.
Put it on the
list. Amazing.
Speaking of which, Garth put in another Streamlabs too.
Of course he did. Garth kicking into the party always.
Sorry, thanks for that Captain America gif. Captain America gif. Did you know that Cap's list of things to watch and listen to was made different for each country so that it represented the interest of those countries?
Yes.
Google search to see the wide variety of list. Yeah, I did know that. That was really cool. It's a cool thing they did edit in for different versions of the film.
That's cool.
I have a fun other one we could run into, but Alice, do you need to go now?
I mean, what do you have to do?
I don't have to do anything. I'm just asking if you want to go now before I start another topic.
Yeah, it's probably for the best because it is midnight and I need to wash my face and get some sleep.
Most of us are on real time. Allison's on fantasy time.
No,
I mean, I'm. It's also midnight here, but I don't have anything to do till 4 tomorrow.
He'll bear through it.
It works out fine. Thank you for letting me hang out again. Bye, everybody. Don't forget to check out new episodes of Reels Like the First Time on Tuesdays right here on Flick and Reel. And
who's coming up next week?
Next week, it is As Good As It Gets with Janine Bryce. So you don't want to miss
the Machine.
Janine the Machine. And then I have just, sneak peek for movies coming up. We got Dog Day Afternoon. And I just did a recording tonight on 1984's Red Dawn. So you definitely don't want to miss that one. That was
Charlie Sheen in that one?
Charlie Sheen, Patrick Swayze, Harry Dean Stanton. It was Leah Thompson, Jennifer Grey, Powers Booth, C. Thomas Howell. I mean, literally everyone that you could think of for the 80s was in that movie.
See Thomas Howell doing his Soul Man impression or no?
No.
Have you seen Red Dawn, the original?
I've seen the remake.
You've never seen the original?
But I've never seen the original.
I'll put it on the list.
Knew it was coming.
He was waiting for it.
Nice.
They had a finger on there.
Yeah.
I did.
All right, guys. Love you all. Follow me on Twitter at Allison Salamoni. And then you can also follow the show, Reels Like Movies, as well. And see you guys soon.
Bye. I gotta sleep.
Oh, let me leave studio, not end broadcast.
Don't do that.
Almost
Do that again.
Almost.
Abrupt.
Almost.
Bye. Yeah.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
I can't be here. No one can.
She did that too. What was it? Our Avatar review, I think. I can't remember what video that
like,
was.
You know what? This is over.
She's like, I'm so used to ending the broadcast when I'm done recording.
I will say, before we go into the next topic, I never really answered the last question. Honestly, I'm really bad at watching new releases. I haven't seen any of the big ones. Well, I saw like one or two, but I still haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. I still haven't seen RRR. I still haven't seen.
I mean, like,
get out of here.
I want to. I
hovered over the button when you said Everything Everywhere. It was after RRR.
Yeah. I mean, again, these are on my list, but honestly, I'm tired and I'm old. So, like when you guys were talking before about like what you were watching, I'm like, Murder, She Wrote's real good.
Columbo.
You've been hanging out with us for almost an hour and a half on a night that you didn't have anything else going on, going into a day that you don't have to do anything until 4:00. You could have watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
When you watch RRR, feel free to hop on and queue up our watch along. We sat here for 3.5 hours and we watched it for a party that we did way too, like 3 months later than
nice.
we meant to.
I mean, that means I'll have to watch it twice though, because I like to. When I do a watch along, I like to watch it.
We didn't talk much. we kept getting people hopping in, going, "Where's the movie?" I'm like, "We're not gonna put the movie."
That's
you ever watch
illegal.
reaction videos? Like, we're trying not to.
Got a copyright claim for like part of a John Wick trailer. Like, I'm not putting the entirety of our.
No.
Yeah,
my favorite thing is YouTube giving, ridiculous. And I'm sure that our friends over late to the party can really relate to this, but getting copyright claims like 5 months later.
Yeah, both our RRR reactions are completely blocked on YouTube after numerous cuts to get it to work, and they would come after it and block it and then deny the claims. But that's it's a pain in the ass for sure, to say the least.
I will say, to answer that question, Robert, I've been watching a lot of stuff for podcasts. If people tell me to watch it, I'll watch. I just watch time after time. Okay, yes. I've been rewatching like the old stuff that people ask me to watch for podcasts. So sometimes it's hard to find time to watch the things I just want to watch.
So time after time, you talking the David Warner joint where David Warner Jack the Ripper? Hell yeah, dude! David
Warner is phenomenal.
Incredible.
I mean, Malcolm McDowell is okay, but
it's Malcolm McDowell too.
I mean, he's great. But David Warner. My God.
Malcolm McDowell of Tank Girl fame? Am I thinking of his name? Okay.
Right. And he's hunting down
no
Jack
other
the Ripper.
movies.
Other films.
Yes, he's playing H.G. Wells hunting Jack the Ripper and falls in love with Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah, dude, it's legit.
Yeah.
They created a whole like ABC series for it, but it was just not.
This was
they didn't recapture.
What was this movie again?
Time After Time.
Time After Time. Okay. There you go. You haven't seen Time After Time?
Yeah. It's fun. I will say I went into it thinking that it was going to be more of a serious tone than it is. So don't necessarily expect that, because it took me a while to get into it. Yeah. But once I realized what it was, it's a fun movie. It's just, and like I said, David Warner's performance is worth everything else that happens.
Put that in the poll right next to Time Bandits.
Time Bandits, yeah, we've never seen Time Bandits.
Oh God, I can't wait for Taika Waititi's.
Have neither of you seen? Oh, okay. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about the ending.
All right, exciting. That's exciting.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I gotta double check and make sure it's still on the list.
Yeah.
I know
it's a very long list.
It's a very long list,
sure.
but it's starting to form. Like it's turning into a beast.
But it like depends on like if I've seen it, or if he's never seen it, or if I've never seen it, or we both never seen it.
Yeah,
majority of it's me.
It's all on there. It. You can vote for it on our Patreon, as Garth said earlier. Vote on what we watch.
This is also my wife's crafting room. We got Cricut here.
Time to stream it on Twitch.
Epson printer over there. If you need t-shirts made, you just let me know. We got all kinds of crafting.
We're gonna get ASMR with Miss Wingblade there doing some crafting.
ASMRRR. That would be legit. You hear it? Sound effects.
Just the sound effects.
Just the sound effects of every shot.
Do not do.
Oh man, blow your brains out.
Such a good song. Although my favorite song from the movie is probably the ending credit song that they sing. I love that song.
Yeah, it's good.
It's so fun. I love reading the translated lyrics when they're playing it through, and like if you're watching the Natu transcriptions too, it's like dance white boy dance.
And here we are with the white boys.
Like,
yeah.
It was a good old time.
It conveys what they're trying to emote in that scene.
Yeah,
damn white boys.
Oh, no. You can't hang.
I wanted to bring up just obscure recommendations of movie and TV things. Just like if there's a single thing that you love so passionately, but you know that most of your friends aren't watching it or haven't even heard of it, maybe is anything that comes to mind. I'm gonna say right now, what are these new layout buttons, Sean? Have you seen these?
I just saw those while we were. I know you want to start talking with
edit
shit.
Layout dynamic. Anyways, sorry.
StreamYard has all these new features. It's like I haven't been on here in a week. I have no idea.
Yeah.
While you guys are thinking about it too, yeah. So we keep getting copyright claims.
Whoa.
For some, we did.
Are you seeing this live?
No, I can't see what you're doing. We use some copyright-free music for our intro, like 20 seconds of it or whatever.
Sure.
And I think the artist must have sold his library to a record company. So now they're for videos we put up over a year ago.
What is the point of that? Who would want to do that?
Okay.
I just created that though.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to play with that more.
Yeah.
New features.
I would have had to like turn my head sideways.
How do I delete it though? Anyways.
I don't know. Obscure recommendations? I don't know. Weird stuff that I'd watched as a kid, maybe.
I mean,
Time Bandits is good. My kids are mad that I keep making them watch movies that I enjoyed as a kid. I was like, you're gonna love The Wizard of Oz, or you're gonna love The Mighty Ducks. And they're like, these are old. I'm like, yeah.
That's the only way they're gonna see old stuff anymore.
True.
Back when we were kids, that stuff was replaying all the time.
Yeah.
And now, unless you're seeking it out, you don't see it.
I didn't know I was watching movies from the 70s until later on in life, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I love it. I will say, I mean, television series, I don't know, most people have probably heard of it, but it did not get the traction that it should have. One of my all-time favorite television shows is Pushing Daisies. I love that.
Oh, my wife got me to watch like the first season. I need to finish watching it.
It's so good. It's just, I mean, because it is I believe the way Brian Fuller described it was a forensic fairy tale. And that's the perfect way to describe it, because it's murder mystery every week, but it's like it takes place in this like perfect fairy tale world, and there's a narrator, the voice of Jim Dale. It's just phenomenal. And there's also some great just like character stuff in it. Lee Pace, it's first thing I ever saw Lee Pace do. Kristen Chenoweth's amazing in that. Shine McBride, Anna Frell. It's great show.
I would say
I'm gonna have. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the one that kind of we don't hear anyone talk about, but like it just keeps blowing our mind with how good it is. Mythic Quest. on
I
Apple.
have heard it's great. I have not started it.
Dude, there are these time jump episodes that are in each season where they go to a completely different era that has relevance to the story that you're watching or the characters that you're watching. And holy crap, they swing for the fences. In like, there's one episode with Jake Johnson and Kristen Milotti that is one of the most beautiful stories ever in a workplace comedy for one episode. And
you can say Apple TV is crushing it.
Dude, yeah, there is some incredibly creative episodes. And F. Murray Abraham was incredible, and he just left, and they gave him a beautiful send-off. You know, they didn't bash him or trash him because he went to White Lotus. William Hurt, he didn't look good either. He didn't look good. And like we were like, wow.
We're like, wait a minute, why is
that's William Hurt?
Yeah.
But it's just a show that I think just if you give it time and you let it grow, holy crap, does it become, especially when you hit the specials during the pandemic. There's a pandemic special. Damn. And then they kill it with the next episode.
I tried it. I think I only got to episode 2, and it just didn't hook me for like the I don't know. And it's one of those ones that you got to binge through to really like hook into the characters. I'm still stuck on. I'm only on like episode 4, season 2 of For All Mankind. I need to catch up with that too.
That show's so good.
It is, and I just can't find time to get back to it. I was trying to watch it. I had some downtime at work the other day, and I was like, I got 2 hours to kill. And I was trying to sign in, but it's my wife's account, and she wouldn't give me the code because she was working, and I couldn't get a hold of her on the phone. I was like trying to log in on my phone. I was like, come on, let me watch the show. I need to get back to it.
I want to make 2 HBO recommendations that are both Taika Waititi adjacent.
Okay.
One is the slightly less obscure because people are watching it, but it's Our Flag Means Death. I don't think enough people are watching it. It's really good. But then a spin-off of the original What We Do in the Shadows movie, there's a show called Wellington Paranormal that is the episodes are going to HBO. And who here has seen the What We Do in the Shadows movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys remember the really stupid cops that went to the basement that couldn't? They made a spin-off show that's like 3 seasons long with those cops.
Oh wow! A couple episodes.
It's so good. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous. But go check that out. Add it to the list.
Always an underrated show.
But they do their job well. That's the thing.
It's great.
It's one that we were going to watch on the channel, but it didn't get a whole lot of views. Like What We Do in the Shadows is hard enough, but we still cover that show because it's amazing. We're one of only What We Do in the Shadows reactors. But Wellington Paranormal, like it's almost like one of those ones that you keep in your back pocket because it's like I want to watch it and devote myself to it, but I feel like right now I don't have time. So it's one of those ones you're hanging on to for that special moment. But what ends up happening is it goes forever and you don't watch them. So yeah, it's a good reminder. I'm going to take it as a sign that we should be watching, getting through it. We got to go through it. Yeah. It's been on for a couple seasons or 3 seasons, I think, maybe more.
That's a good one though.
No, I'm reading the comments.
Yeah, I know.
New York City. Yeah, Laszlo. He's incredible.
Everyone, shut the fuck up. I'm doing a piece to Canada.
All of them. Everything about that show. If you're not watching What We Do in the Shadows, holy crap. Holy crap. Like the devotion. If you loved Nate on The Office and you took him, Mark Prosh, and gave him some to really sink his teeth into, pun. Yeah, it's What We Do in the Shadows.
I mean, he doesn't really sink his
teeth. But
it's
the vampires. You know what I mean.
He's an energy vampire.
It fits the motif. It works. Not you, Guillermo.
Spoiler alert, I will miss baby Colin Robinson.
I know, right? But it's the whole Baby Groot thing. We got to move on from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know. I'm not looking forward to seeing Baby Grogu.
Yeah, we're going to move past Baby Grogu too, dude. But it's going to be sick when he grows up a little.
I love how they did not try
when he grows another 6 inches.
Well, I was going to say, he's still going to be tiny.
True.
There's difference though between baby look, which is what he's got now. Though I'm sure the designs are locked away in a big box somewhere where they won't let anyone go in. It's like this is the designs of evolution before we get to full on.
Even go to Skywalker Ranch, like in what's the movie?
Fanboys.
Fanboys when he gets down and he's crawling.
Well, even in the flashback, he did look slightly younger. He looked a good, 7 years younger, which is about the timeline. Or no, I guess this was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it looked like it was the right way to show his age progression. That's my pitch for what I think the next movie should go. Is they need to jump forward like 200 years and just hide Grogu somewhere off in the nether, in the outer regions or whatever, until they bring him back and he can lead the Jedi or whatever.
I'm telling you, what if they figure out how to do it in the sense that the writing is good and the execution is proper, and they create Star Wars Episode 10, and it's freaking Grogu, and if they make it out, whoever makes it out of everything, whoever makes it out of Ahsoka and Andor, because we know Mon Mothma is going to be showing up again, and I feel like she cut her teeth as Mon Mothma in Andor, so it's the representation of all that stuff leading into Rey.
I don't know if they can survive 200 years though.
No, I'm talking Episode 10. Like, you go to the sequel trilogy.
Just a couple years.
Just
not
like
200.
That's where you
think you could survive that.
Not 200 years. I said like the Episode 10.
No, I said
7, 8, 9, and then 10. He said 200 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's how you kind of correct it all. And you're like, hey, look, there we got the good stuff. Let's go.
if they'd be willing
Took a
to come
while to
back,
get there,
I would love to see the further adventures of those three main characters along with, but they could also do something if they wanted to dive deeper into it with the World Between Worlds, which they only touched on in the animated series. I would love to see that Rogue Squadron movie and Grogu movie set in the future. That'd be fun too.
Can we get
that's the evolution of where it should go. That's where you get Episode 11, 12, and 13. Absolutely. Like that's another time jump. Another era to explore with Grogu as a freaking Mandalorian Jedi with the Darksaber right in a damn mythosaur. What y'all gonna do when baby Grogu come for you, bitch?
He's gonna be with the
Yoda says
right in the whales.
Yoda was 900 when he died, but he says straight. He goes, "I've been training Jedi for 800 years." So that's what 50 years from now for Grogu, where he is old enough and well put together enough that he could train people if he follows the same pathway as Yoda. So I guess we only need 50 years of jump.
Question is, what kind of voice will they do for Grogu?
Yeah, the voice is going to be interesting. They got to get it right, and I trust them. I trust them to figure it out.
Do we think he'll have a full word by the end of the season? Because he keeps trying to talk. They keep trying to make him talk.
I think that he will say something.
He's like,
we're all gonna be there. But like he said his first.
It's got to be this. It's got to be. It's called the Mandalorian. He is the Mandalorian. He's the first alien species Mandalorian Jedi. I guess there's been Jedi Mandalorians, but
Grogu has an attachment. Grogu has an attachment to like alien and animal life things. Yeah. What if we get to touch on the mythosaur again, and Grogu calms it?
Yeah. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Bo-Katan's pissed, but I
don't think the Mandalorian that we think is the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, I don't think he's gonna make it through the end of this whole story. I think the Mandalorian's gonna be I think it's gonna end up being.
Honestly, I agree.
It's a Western. The Western, the stranger always dies. The stranger usually doesn't make it out at the end, or it's we just talked about Butch
trying to tell me Pedro has shelf lives in shows, which is it's depressing.
He also takes care of babies too and kids, so that's kind of comes with the
territory.
Yeah,
you have to sacrifice yourself.
Mufasa's always got to go down.
With that, exactly like Logan did, right? You got to sacrifice at the end to make sure they can move on. It's gonna be sad if they do it right. Hopefully, I want to see them all without helmets on by the end of the season. I don't know if that's going to happen.
We need a tiebreaker in our band poll in the chat right now, because currently System of a Down and My Chemical Romance are tied for 42%.
Oh, can I tell you about My Chemical Romance show? The best show I ever saw. Oh my God! It was the anniversary tour for 3 Cheers from Sweet Revenge. Actually, it was a farewell to 3 Cheers of Sweet Revenge. Holy crap! The best show ever. Anything after that, I couldn't watch My Chemical Romance anymore. It didn't hit anywhere on that level, and I was like, I peaked. My Chemical Romance.
I'll go see My Chemical Romance.
Oh, I'd probably go see him again, but it'll be like last time and the time before, which wasn't the 3 Cheers farewell show.
I had a couple buddies at work who went to the When We Were Young tour, and on the day it got canceled. And they were very upset about that.
Believe it.
Sean, are you coming up to see Paramore with me or what?
I don't know. We didn't talk about that.
That's right up your alley. She just saw Paramore twice.
I saw Paramore twice. Yeah, they came for the Super Bowl thing. I went to see them. Then they opened for Taylor Swift. And now I'm like, oh, do I want to go to Palm Springs to see them?
It's an addiction. Don't do it. Look at my mom. Look at my mom. Don't do it.
Come up to Seattle
so easy to fall into.
This summer. It'll be so fun.
I totally go to
we
Seattle
100% want to go to Seattle. We're gonna go up there and like just I don't know, maybe even look around. Maybe even look around while we're up there.
Just see the.
We're gonna go to Forks, Washington.
See the real estate. Maybe check on pricing. I don't know.
Just don't buy something downtown
because I'm only like 45 minutes from Seattle. So
yeah, I mean, dude, it's on the list for sure. It's
I don't
on
know
the
how
list
many people
already.
you know up here, but there you go.
There's a network.
Yeah, we knew quite a few people that live up
Kyle Katarn is up there.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? You guys gotta put me in the network because, like, I live up here and I don't know anybody.
And technically, we don't even know Kyle Katarn. We're he's a friend from work. He's a friend from work. But I mean, we DM and we know his real name, but other than that, it's him and Jeremy Jones
Kyle
too.
It's not Kyle.
No, it's Kyle Katarn. It's Kyle Katarn. He's also Grizzled Wizard, though. That's another channel he's got.
I saw Gar say Bobcat Goldthwait as Grogu, and like that just made me think like rest in peace, but like Gilbert Gottfried as Grogu.
Yeah, that would have been great.
If Bobcat did it, then I would just think of pain the whole time.
Maybe we owe somebody money.
Yeah, didn't he do that horse? What was the horse movie?
Now I know you guys are my friends. That's like the secret way to get into my friendship corner is if you somehow find the conversation to make its way over to Hot to Trot, and then it's like, all right, guys, hey, buddies, just drop the shroud.
He's like, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. I'm like, it's on the list.
It's on the list for sure. That's one of those ones that I'm saving, and we'll hit all the police academies too. And I can't wait. I had to sit through all the Twilights, but I offered myself up early. I offered myself up early for that, so then I could ask for the good stuff.
You
later.
Got to sit through all the Twilights.
It was a good time. Check out those reactions. I let loose on
that's
in a
why
great way, in a constructive way.
Forks, Washington.
I'd go. I would go because of the Twilight movies. I watched the movies. It was a hell of an experience. I'll laugh while I'm there. I'll reenact stuff. I'll try and get hit by a Volvo.
I think it was the last movie. It was one of the last times we ever like stood in line for a movie. Like it was right. Yeah, it was. I don't know the series as well. I was with my wife and her sister, and they were all dressed up. They made shirts and everything. They went all out for it. But it was one of the last ones where you had to actually stand in line to get your seat. It was before assigned seating was really becoming popular. And that was a good time standing in the heat. I think it came out in the summer or something.
I think the last movie that we saw before they did transition over to assigned seating was A Force Awakens, and we got to the theater at 5 in the morning to get in line.
And we weren't even first.
There were other people in front of us, but yeah, we were there for all day.
And we saw it twice in a row.
We saw it twice that night too.
2 times in a row.
You were able to get in the second time without staying in line?
Yeah. Like we just went to our seats.
Did I work there at the time?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but I worked there for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like we're friends.
So they were cleaning around us. We're like, sorry, this is our seats.
Right, but it's like people that I work with and ate hot dogs with in the hallways.
In the second show.
Walking into a theater with a water cup full of soda and a Ziploc bag full of popcorn is always an interesting to get looks from the other people. Because my wife worked for a theater, and she would always come home smelling like popcorn, which is maybe why I fell in love with her. I don't know, like it was. But it's like, why do you have a Ziploc bag, like a 13-gallon Ziploc bag full of popcorn? Don't worry about it.
Why don't you? That's the real question.
Why weren't you prepared?
Why?
This is way past the point of relevance, but I will some like PayPal somebody $5 if they know what film this Bobcat Goldthwait cameo is from.
Oh wow!
I do not know.
Hot Rod.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh my god! Wow. I don't know. I have no idea.
That's from the film Grind.
I've never heard of Grind.
Wow. Heavy Metal Rules.
Skateboarding comedy.
I love that you found the clearest image of him, though.
Listen,
right? Yeah.
I looked up Bobcat Goldthwait grind, and ironically, that's the only image I could find. But you know what's funny? It's like the third thing on Google, and it's from Rachel Silvestrini's Twitter.
Oh,
Didn't you do a watch along with her for that movie?
You did a watch along of grind.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's awesome. He's a good director, Garth. What has he directed?
Okay, so he directed the Sasquatch found footage movie.
Okay.
I forgot what it was called though, but but like some of the aspects of the scenes, I'm like, oh my god, I can't sit here in this tent with you guys anymore. Like it's just you're there forever and nothing's happening, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's very realistic because you're just gonna sit there and not hear anything, and that's the scary part. But it does go on for a really long time. But there's crazy twists in the end. It's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, he also directed World's Greatest Dad with Robin Williams, which
I
I haven't seen, but I've heard great things about.
Was that like one of his final films?
No,
Pretty sure.
I mean,
is it?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was like a couple years before
Maybe.
he passed.
This was 2009.
I think.
okay, yeah, it's 2010.
Yeah, so it was a couple years before he passed.
I don't know what year. I'm horrible at release dates.
It was like 20.
All right,
I
so
thought-
release date trivia, guys. I'm gonna pull up my Google Doc over here.
I left that behind me.
No, thank you.
Yeah, because I think
Well,
he passed in,
I'd be
like,
down for like a
2020.
casual, no study movie trivia night. I think it would be fun, maybe with drinks involved.
You got to spring it on me, otherwise I'll prepare.
I mean, damn, just being in these conversations is like playing damn trivia.
A lot of it becomes that.
Somebody will mention something, and it's like we go on a journey to figure out what the answer is to what it is the question that was
Hold
asked.
on. If we put our minds together, we can figure this out without Google.
And then you feel so proud when you pull, Warren Beatty in Heaven
Yeah.
Can Wait. And I'm like, yeah. I
Honestly,
felt like I
though,
was racing everybody.
yeah, half the conversation I've just been sitting here going, wow, I'm really glad I'm not playing movie trivia anymore. You guys are smoking me here.
Did we read off Garth's last Streamlabs? Because I feel like maybe not.
No, we didn't.
I'm
Okay.
sure Garth wouldn't blow the gasket.
Garth donated $1. Thank you so much, Garth. He says, I'm going to recommend a couple movies. This was a bit earlier. I watched The Most, Flash Gordon from 1980, and Highlander. Great choices there. Both movies have killer soundtracks with music by Queen. That's true. Both movies are fun and exciting. Christopher Lambert, or we have Hollywood's James Remar, but that is my favorite rating, is Christopher Lambert.
I
Christopher Lambert is
saw Flash
rated.
Gordon for the first time last year. I'd known it peripherally, but I'd never seen it. It was fun for what it was at its time. I think I think it's one of those nostalgically good movies where you had to have watched it as a kid type of thing.
We've never seen it, Garth.
Flash Gordon.
Oh, I really enjoyed Flash Gordon. I mean, it is kind of dated, but it's fun.
I know the song.
I know I've seen the first Highlander. I haven't seen any of the sequels, but I saw the first one when I was really young. I don't remember it very clearly.
I've seen the second one, but I had to watch that one with I can't remember what it's called, but the little commentary tracks where they make fun of it.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
It was done by some of the guys that used to do that, but I can't remember what it's called.
I give or take, I knew it.
You were so
Missed
it by that much.
Yeah.
Samsonite.
I was that close.
Highlander the series was a thing I watched, I believe. It didn't have it wasn't Lambert though. It was the
no, it was Duncan MacLeod.
Yeah. It was on Sci-Fi Channel or something.
Yeah.
I remember it was the guy who looked like Scott Hall, but I didn't remember the actor. He looked identical to Scott Hall.
I gotta say, you're a cheap remake when you can't afford Christopher Lambert.
Did he ride the motorcycle? Did he ride the motorcycle?
I know he
Was
wore
that
a leather
Highlander?
jacket constant.
Well, then he must have ridden a motorcycle.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't.
Would make sense.
I don't think. Yeah, no, I've never seen any of the Highlanders either.
I've never seen the Highlander.
All I remember seeing from Highlander is clips of Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
Doing stuff. I don't even remember what he was doing.
You're looking at me for approval, and I'm like, I've never.
I'm
seen
using
it.
your eyes as a place to figure out my brain. It's like a filter.
The first one opens up with a wrestling match. You get to see the fabulous Freebirds in random. Yeah, I'm just like, this is a weird choice to open this movie with.
Dude, the Freebirds.
It's not even a pay-per-view.
You should watch the documentary about the Freebirds.
This is what I wanted to watch when I put on Highlander. Michael P.S. Hayes strutting around.
Yeah, dude, Michael Hayes got his ponytail cut off on the WWF plane, caused a freaking battle.
Behind the mat.
That was Dark Side of the Ring, but the other ones was like the Tales from the
Tales
Territories.
From the Territories. Yeah.
Territories.
That was
great.
Fun.
Great series, by the way.
Yeah,
that's another thing to recommend if you're a
that is
fan.
one thing I did make time to watch.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I also watched 60 Days In. That's my trash TV right there.
Okay.
I didn't get into those when they started airing on the WWE network, but I loved always Stone Cold's podcast was fantastic, and anytime he would have an old wrestler on, they'd just go over the olden days back in the territories. I'm like, yeah, it was always fun stories. That was my era, all Attitude Era. That was all my era of wrestling.
Me too.
Pretty much as soon as it was late 2004, 2005 when Brock Lesnar took his ball and went home. Basically,
yeah.
That's kind of when I fell out of it. But it's also right when I was getting into UFC, MMA fighting, and so it's the rise of right after the Ultimate Fighter 1 was on.
Yeah,
and I kind of fell out of wrestling.
For me, it was again, it reached its peak, and I was like, all right, I'm full, and I just walked away. And it was the Invasion. It was the WCW ECW Invasion, and once the Invasion storyline ended. And I was like, and then Kurt Angle was one of my favorite wrestlers, Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon. And when they fought each other at King of the Ring, one of the best matches I've ever experienced, because we saw it at Hooters when they would show the pay-per-views. And dude, the whole outside patio.
I go to Hooters for the pay-per-views.
I did, dude. And the wings and the hamburgers and the boobs. But it was
can I get the chicken breast, hold the chicken?
Chicken breast, hold the chicken. Is that what you really want? No, I'll take a turkey sandwich. But yeah, those were my favorite wrestlers. And once they came out of Invasion and Kurt Angle screwed over WCW and NWO or WCW, ECW to cause them to lose it all, and WWE reigned supreme. And then the next night, they made Kurt Angle a joke. And everybody was just treating him like crap again. I was like,
is that what you were showing me? That whole, okay.
And that was where I was like, all right, well, that whole storyline has come to an end, and we're starting it with people literally kissing Vince McMahon's ass on screen to keep their jobs. And Kurt Angle was a joke, even though he gave up. Yeah, there you go. I will say, 15 years ago.
What I always liked about Kurt Angle, though, is that he could be the serious badass and also a great comic relief.
Right.
This conversation goes where it's going to go.
Yeah.
He was the Olympic gold medalist in the WWE, which I'm sure they had more.
It's damn true.
You suck.
Intensity, integrity, and intelligence.
Yeah.
The epitome of America.
I was always I don't know if it was because of Ready to Rumble, but I was always a Goldberg guy, and I never watched WCW growing up. I was always a WWF person.
I was WCW during that time.
Really?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been watching gameplay and people playing on Twitch and stuff of the new wrestling games. Mm-hmm. Is it just my age bias, or have they gotten worse?
Yeah.
Because I feel there was a game called Day of Reckoning, I think, was on GameCube. There's SmackDown versus Raw. There's a couple of them, and I remember being quite entertained by those games.
It peaked with No Mercy and SmackDown series.
No Mercy, yes, those were the two on N64.
Yeah, N64 for No Mercy, and then PlayStation is what I played for Just Bring It and Know Your Role. Those were incredible games, but they peaked back then. Everything else is just over polishing and over complicated.
But now we'll find out when AEW brings out their new game.
Yeah, I'm worried still, but we'll see. They're going back to an N64 style of No Mercy style of gameplay. Yeah. So we'll see how it turns out.
I was gonna say, I was a big fan of WCW versus NWO Revenge.
That was the start. Yeah. Versus NWO Revenge.
Yep.
That was pinnacle. That was an incredible gaming back then.
SmackDown versus Raw did have the Worlds Collide, a real slapping soundtrack.
This is what it's like with Worlds Collide.
I will say I played some of some of the 2K games that they did. I liked the they would do like a feature thing, and I liked like basically they would profile a particular athlete, and you would play through like big matches in their careers. I liked that, but the overall gameplay and everything else, I was like, yeah, I'm good after that.
Yeah, it looks sloppier than it used to, I think. There's a lot of that's iffy.
They need to go full like NFL blitz and just every person just jacked out of their minds. Just huge, like they're all like balloons.
They've done games like that. I can't remember the names of them, but
Mutant League football. You guys ever play Mutant League football where you're just knocking the heads off of the other players, bribing the refs? Like, it was an incredible game. They just went for it.
That's fun. That sounds. There's Vapion. Really? That's a story. But I mean, he bought them for you, so I guess.
Did you go and have fun though?
Yeah. Did you have? I think that's the question. Did you enjoy yourself?
I just like he would want you to
sell them for
$2,000. Yeah, he bought you the tickets. Yeah.
I only went to one live match, and it was Raw. And at the time, I was a big fan of Chris Benoit. And that didn't age well.
No,
because I had two different like Crippler crossface sign-ins that I brought with me, and I was like, he's the man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. For those who know,
they were supposed to do a movie, and that got shelved. I think.
Yeah,
they did a Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
that was actually really good. That was well done.
Yeah, I watched that.
All those docs were really well done. That's Vice for you. Vice does some really good episodic documentary type shit.
Yeah, I will say I actually listened to like a couple of wrestling podcasts, and Kurt Angle has one, and I had to stop listening to it because he's the only one that every time he mentions Chris Benoit just says good things, and I'm just like, dude, this feels weird. This feels really weird when you're just like, oh, he was a great technician, and oh, look at like he's constantly rewatching Chris Benoit matches, and I'm just like, I can't be there for you with this. I just,
you got to imagine a lot of people have
complicated feelings. Yeah, I get that.
Well, complicated feelings, but also just good memories, because oftentimes that darker stuff is hidden until it comes out. And
but like everybody else will be like, he was a great wrestler, but this stuff.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And he would never go there. And I was just like.
But to answer the question that nobody asked, yes, Ready to Rumble is on the list.
I haven't seen it actually. Yeah.
It's not even a pay-per-view.
It's not even. I say that all the time. It's not even a pay-per-view.
When something's not AEW, it's not even a pay-per-view.
What was he? The king. What was his move called? Where he jumps, he like
crown me.
It was like the crowning jewel or something like that. Yeah.
Do it. Incredible. Jimmy King. He's the best wrestler. He's the best wrestler, better than all the wrestler. He's got class. He'll rule ass. He'll rule that ass. Jimmy King.
Who's that guy? Rey Mysterio. Here we go.
I can't believe David Arquette actually became like real champion because of all that too. When they crossed the world,
it was reality. A huge controversy when it happened too.
And that's what I was never into WCW at the time, so I didn't know how much of that.
I mean,
I remember seeing the movie after the fact.
Yeah, I will say that happened after I stopped watching. I literally stopped watching in April of 1999.
You remember?
So yeah. Oh yeah, specifically. Because, yeah.
Bye, WWE.
Oh, dude. So okay, I was at a Monday Night Raw show in Phoenix years ago. This is when it was popping towards the end of the Attitude Era. But they did a double show. It was Raw and it was SmackDown. It was the first time they ever sold two shows in the same city the same week.
Yeah.
And so it was a big deal, sold out instantly. And when we were sitting there watching Monday Night Raw, like all of a sudden it was Test versus oh damn, I don't remember his name. Irrelevant. But they were in the ring and the match was over. And it went to commercial and they ended up like getting back up in the ring. And it was D'Lo Brown. It was D'Lo Brown versus Test. Okay. And they got back in the ring and like put each other in like a hold, like a submission. And then all of a sudden, like Jimmy Kimmel came walking down the stairs, like the ramp, and he got in the ring, and he had a microphone, and he's standing next to Test and D'Lo Brown, and he's just like, "Bye, WWE." And then he just puts the microphone down. He jumps out of the ring. He walks out of the thing, and they don't say anything. We're like, what the hell is Jimmy Kimmel doing here? Like, why did he come out and do that? Because I believe he went to school here in Arizona as well. So Phoenix is like his home away from home. So many months later, almost a year later, we're watching the Super Bowl, and there's a Super Bowl commercial of Jimmy Kimmel leaving the Man Show to come and do his show on ABC, the Jimmy Kimmel Late Night Show, whatever he does. And his commercial, his Super Bowl commercial, is him going and saying goodbye to what is it, freaking Sopranos. Like, he goes into the set and he's just like, "Bye, Sopranos," and he like gets thrown out of the window, and he goes to all these cable shows to say goodbye. Yeah. And the one that's there, he comes into the ring and bye WWE, and
that's
it's like
funny.
That's what it was. It was nice. He had no idea what it was. Best thing to happen to wrestling. Moments like those.
It peaked. It peaked way back then.
I never went back.
And then you're like, "Bye, WWE.
Bye, WWE."
Bye.
Doing the dark matches afterward. I took my nephew maybe 8 or 10 years ago, and they did like 2 or 3 dark matches after the broadcast or whatever went out.
Yeah.
And you don't really know kind of what happens. You can't hear the commentary, so you kind of just have to roll. You're like, "Oh, okay, there's more going on," but I know that it's already been 2 hours. Like, why are we still here? Like, all right, let's keep it rolling. And all the cameramen are like packing up. They're like, "We're done." They're just walking off. Like, what? They're still wrestling. Why are you walking away?
They got to give guys some time in the ring, test them out, test them with the crowd. You know.
Yeah.
AEW is weird because they did the main show, then they did Rampage. Whereas when I went and watched Monday Night Raw and Sunday Night Heat, they filmed the same time. And Sunday Night Heat was like aired. They would record it before Monday Night Raw, even though it would air after it. But yeah, AEW didn't do it. They did it actually in the way it would air on television, which was nice.
Well, yeah, because Dynamite was live.
Yeah.
And then they record Rampage.
Sure, for the weekend. But that's your wrestling talk, Slobber Knockers Anonymous.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. And
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's where we. Yeah. Michael PSA Hayes started it all.
From the beginning of the conversation.
Hey, this is the show about nothing and everything we want to talk about. So that's perfectly fine.
Nice.
Perfect.
That's one of the great things about these. One of the great minutes about
that got me when it first came out. I was like, "Oh my!"
That's a real clever way to kind of, especially for reactors.
Yeah,
like, you get thumbnails for every single one.
See you guys glued to it, waiting for what's happening.
Well, that is, you guys, perfect example of why the Friday night speakeasies are fun is because you might start going down one avenue, but you never know where you're going to end up by the end of the night, which we are approaching. We went long tonight. I told Robert and Vanessa to aim for 60, 90 minutes, but we just had so much fun, I think. And we'd love to have you guys back on if you ever want to come and hang out and just kick back, not stress out, talk about whatever you want to do. Clay as well. It's been really nice having you on whenever you're available. I mean, whenever we do these shows, sometimes sporadically, trying to do more stuff. It's was a busy February for life, not necessarily for movies, just for life. And then March has been a little bit busy of both movies and life. Because we haven't even talked about Mandalorian on the show,
no,
at all, which is wild.
I signed up to coach my kids' baseball team. It was a big mistake. There's so much time goes into that.
But we talked about Hot the Trot, which is important.
we got the important stuff.
Talking about the late '90s classic that was Mortal Kombat Conquest, the TV show. Okay, we'll cover it up.
Why did you spend time finding that?
The great thing about having 4 or 5 people on the show is you have time to just meander through the internet and find things. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Hey, obviously people know where to find Late to the Party, but what kind of stuff you guys have going on your channel right now, Robert?
retro reactions. It's kind of like the new venture, the new old venture that we should have been doing a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, movie reactions to stuff. You saw the list. You're helping compile the list. That's
I'm sorry for that.
No, I love it. I adore it. I devour it. But and then Garth
And
could
we
go
just
and
watched
vote on
Muppet
it.
Treasure Island.
Sure did.
We had
Predator. Yeah.
Labyrinth,
which was a hell of a time for me.
Dance.
We will be recording the Iron Giant.
Okay.
Yeah, Iron Giant is the next one I've never seen.
He has never seen it.
Ooh.
I've never
Oh,
seen it.
I love that's a great movie.
Yeah, so
Featuring
that's coming up.
Grogu.
That's coming up this Thursday. So be on the lookout.
Nice.
I
And
am
Clay,
Iron Giant.
where can people find you? What are you doing?
Oh, geez.
There's a
Okay.
cow's flying.
So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Flying Cow Pod. You can find my podcast and YouTube channel. Just type in the Flying Cow anywhere you find podcasts or YouTube channels. And I have a bunch of different shows on there. I've got Discussions, my Disney podcast. I've also got podcasts about stuff from our childhood, entertainment from our childhood. Nostalgia Cow. I've got a movie podcast, the Flying Cows Movie List. I also have a Patreon exclusive podcast on patreon.com/the Flying Cow, talking all things the Ernest movies. It's called Around the Laurel. So yeah, you can check that out.
That's his last name.
Yeah. And then I also have movie battles. If anybody is still interested in movie trivia, it's specifically Disney Pixar movie trivia.
So essentially, Clay's not doing jack shit.
No, doesn't sound busy at all.
Yeah,
still
this
gotta
is why
watch-
I watched all those movies.
You still got to watch Ernest Goes to Jail. By far my favorite Ernest of all time. Dual Ernest, evil Ernest, and good Ernest.
Ernest
one's pretty
Scared
good.
Stupid is the best.
I prefer.
I will
Ernest
say,
Saves Christmas.
honestly, objectively, I think that's the best well-made one. Ernest Goes to Camp is kind of my nostalgic favorite. Although there are some problematic Native American representation there. Iron Eyes Cody, not a Native American man. But some good stuff over there. Actually, we're about to put out our review of Ernest Scared Stupid. And we'll then be doing the other ones. Not great.
That was life.
Life imitating art, or just life.
Sean,
What?
what do we do?
I don't know. We do stuff around here. The Last of Us is over. My Sunday nights are free. I don't know. You know what I've been thinking about doing? I think I might try to fill the time on Sunday nights before Jedi Survivor comes out. I'm going to replay Jedi Fallen Order because I haven't played it since the first came out. And that might I think it comes out. I think we got about 4 weeks
You know
before
what you
the
can do?
next game comes out. So I might
It's
do that.
It's the Diablo 4 open beta weekend, yabbish. I'm just so busy that I got to play the early open beta last weekend. Didn't stream anything, but I'll probably stream it like when the actual game comes out in June because Diablo 4 is my ish or Diablo. But yes, we do that stuff. Spontaneous trailer reactions. Unfortunately, slowly, we have like 5 people on this channel. All of our schedules are slowly syncing up to be the exact same, so nobody's free for these trailer reactions during the day. It's terrible.
I need to edit the next episode of your Squid Game reaction.
I was going to
it's
bring it
sitting
up,
on my computer.
but yeah, the episode 6 or whatever that I watched 2 months ago.
It's just been sitting in my hard drive forever.
There you go.
I
will say, if you guys don't mind, I forgot to plug one of the most important things because it's coming up this weekend. FCL Flashback. I'm having on former members of the FCL, and we are revisiting the first one with the cat is up. We talk about our match and then just their history with the FCL. And coming up this week is Mystical Brennan Mars. So
Are the matches going back up finally? Like, what's going on? Where
well,
are they?
I will say I was able to talk to someone and get a copy of my matches,
Sure.
but they're not available for the public
See, that's the shame part, man. Everybody put so much effort into that stuff.
I know.
Whether it's behind the scenes or training and trying to put it, on front of the camera. It's like, just upload it. But however, if it's part of the timeline in which they're releasing stuff, and it comes out then
I'm really hoping that it will be, because my last 2 matches never got put on the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
the first 2.
Yeah, they stopped uploading them.
Yeah,
our match never showed up. Our retirement match, essentially.
Oh no, FCL Warfare is up.
Is it where we fought each other?
That's the only thing that's up of FCL.
All right, cool.
Which one is? Which one?
I'll revisit that. That was a fight to the finish.
Where you and me fight against each other?
Yeah. It was a perfect way. It was so perfect way to end our Schmodown careers. It was crazy. And the fact that I was undefeated and the only one to take me down was Vanessa. Like, and so naturally too. It was such a good fight.
It was it was a good match.
Forth.
I mean, I'm sorry, Robert. Was anybody rooting for you in that match?
Me?
Because
I'm the only one that matters. I'm the only one playing.
Nah, he was rooting for me too.
If anybody could have won besides me, it was you. I was happy it was you. Not in everyone else's case. Did I fight Robert Adams? Was that a fever dream? Did that happen?
No, I thought you did.
I think there was a Robert match.
I'm sure Robert will put it in.
Maxwell.
Pretty sure.
Maxwell,
it's because Robert's in the chat.
I helped Maxwell train for that match too, and I was rooting for him, but I hadn't met you yet, so good food for you. You won.
Well, you didn't train him hard enough.
Apparently not. we can only hope. It was a good time, and I liked your episode of Kat. It was a great conversation. Watching your new podcast next week, so that'll be cool. I'll tune into Brennan. My one loss, Brennan, other than all the training matches
on
I had
camera,
with Jesse.
Sean.
I lost every behind the scenes training match, and Jesse beat me on every single time.
What's hilarious about that is that Sean was like undefeated in the Schmodown, and then I could do nothing but lose every match. Bullshit.
In there, man.
I just beat Adam Collins and Mark Andreyko and Kevin Smith. It's no big deal.
To be fair, Sean's a better competitor than I am. It just turned out that every time we trained, I won somehow. Yeah, by the skin of my teeth.
Good times. We were trying to wrap it up 10 minutes ago. Anyway, thank everyone for joining the show. It was a good time and a great conversation. Thank you all, to our guests, our special guests, for joining us too. And definitely come back anytime. And thank you for everyone in the chat, dropping Streamlabs and super chats and everything you did, and keeping the conversation going. We appreciate you so much. Jesse, you want to say bye?
No.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, I'll hit the button.
Hit the button.
Bye everyone.
Bye everybody. Keep it real.